economy has not been doing well as the PNM had hoped, and they have not been able to get a handle on crime, he told Newsday. Both of these factors are going to be important in how they campaign, because if the economy is not strong enough for them to present an election budget come October, they may be very well strapped as to what they could give and what they could do. He believes Finance Minister Colm Imbert realizes this. That is why he is pushing for the Revenue Authority and property tax. Raghunath claimed the government is also doing a huge amount of borrowing that we are not necessarily being told about. In fact, I think they took money out of the HSF, Heritage and Stabilization Fund, last December, and it was only by chance that the IMF, International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank reported earlier this year, then we knew that they took out money. Dr. Amory Brown. So clearly the economy is in dire straits and they have not been able to get a handle on crime. At the rate at which we are going, we might surpass our highest murder figure for last year. To compound matters, he said, there has also been an increase in kidnappings and extortion. We are hearing that even doubles people are closing down because they cannot afford to pay the extortionists, and clearly they do not feel protected by police service. Raghunath said fewer major crimes impact citizens. So that is something the government has to get a handle on. He wondered if the government really wanted to get a handle on crime. If they don't get a handle, more and more people are going to walk away from the normal electoral system because they are not being protected. Either they want to migrate or they are not going to vote. So a low voter turnout will definitely be in the interest of the PNM. Raghunath, Senior Lecturer, Department of Behavioral Sciences, UWI, St. Augustine, said Tobago's 2 seats will again be crucial to the outcome of the election. He recalled the PNM won the Tobago East seat by fewer than 1,500 votes. That is clearly a concern for the PNM. With the spate of gun-related murders and other violent crimes on the island, Raghunath believes, Tobagonians will hold the government to account. People are going to say that crime and security fall under the government and it is not doing anything. Raghunath alluded to the Security Council briefing hosted by Chief Secretary Farley Augustine on August 8 to highlight his point. Augustine, as part of Tobago's strategy to combat crime, announced that the THA intends to buy 2 fishing boats to give to the Coast Guard to carry out patrols along the shorelines and in and around the marine park. Stuart Young, Gabriel Williams. For Farley to come out and say that he is going and get 2 fishing boats to give them to the Coast Guard, it tells you that the central government is not servicing the people of Tobago to the best of their ability. And I think is going to be part and parcel of an election campaign against the PNM in Tobago. But he said the 2 Tobago seats remain very crucial as TT prepares for the general election because the PNM badly needs them in order that they maintain a majority. He said the party has not been able to make significant inroads in the marginal constituencies in Trinidad, even though it has made some progress in Morrigas/Tableland. Possible political leaders. On the issue of leadership in the PNM, Raghunath said the race is still relatively open. He believes Deputy Leader Dr. Nian Gadsby Dolly, General Secretary Foster Cummings and Lady Vice Chairman Camille Robinson Regis, are major contenders. Those are the people I mean as possible voters for Dr. Raghunath believes Gadsby Dolly, the Education Minister, appears to be in good standing to contest the leadership. To Foster Cummings, the political leader has already suggested that he wants Nian Gadsby Dolly, and that is why he selected her as his deputy. I personally believe that given the option he will probably also want to have Stuart Young as his replacement. From the same societal perspective, Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Amory Brown may be the best person to lead the PNM. Comes across more as balance carrying the diversity of the society, the ethnicities and everything else. And from that perspective, I think it comes across as a lot more acceptable. A PNM source said party's history suggests that someone can emerge as a leader who they least expect. In the PNM, there are no obvious choices. He recalled when TS first Prime Minister Eric Williams died in 1981, the party's people did not expect George James to replace him. When PNM lost the election in 1986, they also did not expect Patrick Manning because he was the most junior man at the time, he said. In 2010, Foley was there but he had to go to a Tory time to get the MPs to support him. Manning was the first man. But to get the others, it was hard, including Imbert. The source said given the PNM's history, it is difficult to say exactly who will emerge as leader. Because you have people on the outside who are not members of the House of Representatives. Dr. Amory Brown is a well-known and experienced man and not political person will not be considered. He recalled when the PNM lost the general election in 1986, some suggested that a new leader be chosen from outside of the party, but that did not go down well at all with the party members. Although Cummings has indicated his interest in leading the party, the source feels Young could also be in contention. He did not say if Planning Minister and Arima MP Penelope Beckles Robinson, who had unsuccessfully contested the leadership, was interested in giving it another shot. The source said Minister of Local Government and Rural Development Faris Al-Rawai once said he has an eye on it but has not been pushing it to the extent. He noted Imbert also has not signaled his intention in that regard. LENNOX 2024 Police searching for St. Augustine gas station bandits. Andrew Giovanetti 15 hours ago. File photo. File photo. Police are searching for two armed men who robbed the St. Augustine gas station on August 7. The men reportedly entered the store and at least one aimed their gun in the direction of the cashier, demanding he hand over money. Police said the frightened cashier handed over about $8,000 from the cash register. The suspects also stole several bottles of alcohol, robbed a security guard of his Samsung 13 phone, and a customer of $400. Police were called and officers of the North Central Emergency Response Patrol Unit responded. The suspects were seen exiting the store and reportedly fired several shots in the direction of responding officers, who returned fire. They got into a silver Nissan Toyota and escaped, driving west. The Toyota was later found to have fake license plates. Officers chased them until they reached Railway Road, Tunapuna, near the Tunapuna market. Police said they jumped out of the car and ran in a southern direction, disappearing into the crowd. North Central Crime Scene investigators processed the scene and found cigarettes and a black Beretta pistol, with one magazine and 17 rounds of live 9mm ammunition. Police searched the car and found $2,903. The vehicle was later impounded and taken to the station for processing. Gary lashes out at Augustine, don't insult Coast Guards. Jada Lago 15 hours ago. Gary Griffith, Faith IU. Gary Griffith, Faith IU. The Tobago House of Assemblies, THA, decision to rent two vessels to help the Coast Guard patrol the borders demonstrates ignorance of national security issues, former National Security Minister and National Transformation Alliance, NTA, leader Gary Griffith has said. On August 9, Griffith responded to DHA Chief Secretary Farley Augustine, who disclosed plans to combat the unprecedented spate of murders and violent crimes in Tobago at a press conference in Shaw Park hours before. Augustine said the DHA intends to rent two fishing vessels and vehicles for the Coast Guard to patrol the seas and carry out its duties effectively on land. Currently, the Coast Guard works along with the Fisheries Department and they do, in fact, have some monitoring of the marine park area in Batua, the lagoon area. But it is not enough given what we are seeing and what the intelligence is providing for us on the island, said Augustine. He said the DHA also wants to create a database for the accommodation and transportation sectors, to have in real time, information on who is staying where, among a host of anti-crime measures. The reality is those, who intend to, commit crimes are very mobile. They tend to rent 3 and 4 places around the island and they move about quite often, he said. But in a scathing response, Griffith argued that Augustine's idea shows a lack of understanding of proper border security and disrespects trained Coast Guard personnel. Griffith stressed that the Coast Guard's role is to secure the nation's exclusive economic zone, which extends from 2 miles to 200 miles offshore, and said deploying them in pirogues close to shore is inappropriate. Suggesting that we throw these trained professionals into rented pirogues to patrol close to shore is a blatant disrespect to their training and expertise, Griffith said. Griffith noted that he re-established the police's marine branch to patrol the shoreline up to 2 miles out, in conjunction with the Coast Guard. This initiative was supported by the PM at the time, who directed me to establish a similar setup in Tobago, said Griffith, adding that former Commissioner McDonald Jacob and current Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher dismantled the branch after his departure, leaving Tobago vulnerable to illegal activities. He said the 6 vessels, acquired during his tenure from Dutch company Damon, including the 50-meter Speyside vessel, were intended to patrol waters up to 200 miles out but have remained unused due to perceived political negligence. These vessels, which cost $1.2 billion less than the 3 offshore patrol vessels, OPVs, previously considered, have the capability to patrol more extensive areas simultaneously. Despite being ready for deployment since 2015, these vessels have remained moored, unused due to political spite, bad mind, and willful negligence. He said another multifaceted anti-crime system was implemented and scrapped. It included the use of drones, radar monitoring, and coordination with the police's marine branch and payment vessels. It is evident that under Keith Rowley, driven by pettiness, and now Farley Augustine, driven by desperation and a lack of understanding of proper border protection operational policy, Tobago remains exposed to criminal elements. This vulnerability will persist unless an administration with individuals who possess the capability and understanding of the roles and functions of law enforcement agencies, including the Coast Guard, comes into office. He said, Central Bank warns against heightened cybercriminal activities. Newsday reporter 16 hours ago. Central Bank. File photo by Jeff K. Mayers. Central Bank. File photo by Jeff K. Mayers. The Central Bank of TT, CBTT, says cybercriminals are constantly evolving their tactics, techniques, and procedures as it urged all citizens to be vigilant against cybercrimes such as phishing, identity theft, internet fraud and banking fraud. In a notice posted on its official website, the CBBT said that people, in order to enhance their online security, should always update their operating systems and applications to the latest versions to benefit from security upgrades. In addition, the CBTT said that people should learn how to use digital technologies safely and responsibly. This includes practicing good password hygiene, enabling multi-factor authentication, and being cautious about the information you share online, it said, adding that they should enable multi-factor authentication, MFA, on any account that offers it, to add an extra layer of security. Be cautious of unsolicited emails, links, and attachments. Verify the source before clicking, the CBTT said, urging citizens to use strong passwords for their Wi-Fi networks and avoid using public Wi-Fi for sensitive transactions. Meanwhile, the CBTT said that the net errors and omissions of TT's balance of payments returned to over $2 billion in 2022 and 2023, following a dip during the period of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Central Bank's publication of a note on errors.
Good morning to you. Start the share. Good morning to you, Gail. My people eat up by the time, Gail. Oh boy. Well, same thing. Roslyn. Good morning, Roslyn Lewis. Good morning, Hanifa D. Mohammed. The people who to the top already there. Divika Balkaran. Good morning. Oh, Primraj, well, you already there. Sunil. Good morning. John, good morning. Shirley, a pleasant good morning to you. Bujram John, well, you was the top already. Angel, a pleasant good morning. Sunil, Bujram, all of you. John, all of you. Mira, Princess Tong. Good morning to you. Who is a miss? Who a miss? Daraj, a pleasant good morning. Pabaro, that is Pabaro, good morning. Well, Marilyn Cicharan, you always up and running. I wonder Anne. I was trying to get onto Anne. Today I'm going to try to call Anne. Anne-Marie. Yes. Michael Khan, a pleasant good morning to you. Pinky, good morning. Oh boy. Ramesh. Good morning to you, Ramesh. Hey, let me say a pleasant good morning to Baby. Balraj, a pleasant good morning to you. Ramki soon. Balraj, want to be soon. Good morning. Baby, good morning. Teacher Balmain, a pleasant good morning to you. Oh, forget my friend in Vancouver. Good morning. Noel Brown, Gita Brown, all of you, a pleasant good morning. Kevon, Sidia, granddaughter, pleasant good morning to each and every one of you at A&A Doubles. Yes, and Roti out there in New York, good morning. Trini Nairo, good morning. Fufu, good morning to you, Fufu. Pearl, Biznat Pusar, all of you, man. Good morning, 007, all of you. Daro, right, I think I'm calling names, same names. Brian, I now see you. Rudy, I now see you too. Anne Brown, I don't call you. Gail, good morning. Nigel Black, a pleasant good morning. Now see you there too. Oh boy. Samantha, a good morning. Nadira, a pleasant good morning. Tommy. Yeah. Oh boy. Good morning, good morning. Who else? I miss anybody there? Boy, Rez, good morning. I don't think there. Rick Lutzman, good morning. Regin Jamaraj, you know, lock on by. Good morning. Kamar, good morning. Ram Kisun, good morning, man. Oh boy. That's the day. Soon all of you, don't tell you all good morning. Well, don't forget to share. Nice. Nice. What's morning? Let me say, Or we want to get on into the news and all those things. And I show my co-hosts know that let me get them the pieces, and when more people on, go in depth because people will be missing out. First line, them kind of thing now. Oh boy. Let me say a pleasant good morning to LENNOX Smith. LENNOX Smith, a pleasant good morning to you.
Okay. Pleasant good morning to you as well, my friend. You hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
I ain't got no papers this morning, boy.
All right. Your usual, I'm sure, very, what I consider dedicated and industrious callers and supporters will certainly, during the course, sometimes the people get up a little late, or they turn on a little late. So, and we too, of course, from time to time, maybe tardy, but, not deliberately either. And, of course, and not too late as well. For anyone to miss anything substantive. But nonetheless, I expect people will be on time. I will continue because this is a job of love and dedication and commitment and patriotism. And one expects that would ricochet, or should I say, be proliferated across the platform, and those who see the ground report as their cup of coffee, so to speak. And I'm being very generous here because people take the ground report very seriously, as indeed we as presenters do. That is why, of course, we can be relied upon, and we go where no one else does. In fact, it is said that the ground report leads and others follow. And of course, being on the social platform totally, and is the place to be, and will be the place to be in the future. That is why, of course, we are adapting and adjusting. Eventually, of course, persons who would have had their radios tune in will know that their cell phones or their smartphones will be the device that they can now, of course, adapt and adjust to whatever home system that they may have, and have it blaring loud and even louder than before, because, of course, we are on a technological path that is revolutionizing communication, broadcasting, and giving the flexibility, very important, not as constraint and restraint as having a politically motivated or politically instituted entity to monitor, of course, every single word. We have a greater flexibility in terms of words used, and we have greater flexibility in terms of time, and all of those constraints that we had before no longer applies, although, of course, we insist that decency and, of course, good etiquette will ensure that the people, of course, conduct themselves at the highest level of recognizing that you don't want to infringe on people's right. And, of course, the role of defamation continues to be an important element that we must respect and observe. That being as it may, police probe suspect movement homicide. So that is something we can look at I think it's in Monrepo that occurred. UNC, where property tax evaluators trained. So they're asking the question, of course, on the Sunday morning press conference. I saw that the doctor, the representative for Faizabad, and Wade Mark, of course, in their presentation over the weekend on Sunday, and specifically in the usual UNC at their headquarters in Shogunas press conference, express that or those concerned. But, of course, as I say, we're going to it a little deeper. We are waiting, of course, your presence, your numbers. Please share as we continue, of course, to treat you with the issues deeper and greater. UNC criticizes Paria US $7 billion US bill for refined products. That is something that we said will happen, and we are seeing it, of course, being expressed in this particular article, and no greater forum or no greater
when
elements.
We had the refinery, Look at the kind of money we are about for energy now, boy.
And that's USA, 7 billion over the years.
Way.
7 billion US dollars. I mean, that is treasonous, you know, Andy. It is treason having regard to what we know and what was the real reason for the closure of Petrotrin. Just to save one man. The entire cabinet conspired to save Dr. Rowley and his association with the fake oil matter. And here it is. We, the population, is reeling from a bill. And at the same time, we have lost what? Energy security. That is crucial. Energy security. This is how for a long time ago we have lost, of course, food security. We have now lost energy security. And no matter what they do, it appears it will not come back because there's obviously nobody would want to deal with this government for one reason or another. Their belligerence, their anti-entrepreneurial spirit, their inability to attract direct foreign investment, particularly outside of the energy sector. And even in the energy sector, it is questionable, but because more could be done, in other words, that's the point I'm making, in spite of their paltry, of course, advancement. And nothing is happening, nothing will now happen with respect to that Venezuela, all your eggs in one basket scenario. And I'm making reference here, of course, to the Dragon deal and other arrangements that they depended on the Venezuelans to assist in energy security in Trinidad and Tobago. But let's go on. As you rightly said, we don't want to go into much details until everybody, a substantial amount of persons are tuned in. UNC. Is government doing enough to prevent dengue deaths? Of course, last week when we spoke about it, there was the alarming number, I think, and I remember 666. Well, today I think it's 712 cases and not deaths, cases, but clearly potential deaths, because we don't know yet what is the real number from what the Faizabad MP, who is a doctor on the UNC platform, indicated that there is doubt about the statistics. And with this government, well, they will try to give you a number that will be reasonably, as far as they are concerned, no debt is reasonable, but as far as they are concerned, it will be reasonably palatable for them in circumstances where all of these deaths could have been avoided, according to the good doctor. We will get into more details about that, just to give you a cursory and an introductory assessment, or should I say summary of that particular matter that is making headline today. A THA employee arrested for trafficking after drugs and gun found. Very unfortunate. Or could it be fortunate or unfortunate? I don't know, depending on your perspective, because those who are fed up with the crime and so on will say it's good. Those who are families of that particular employee might say something different, or they themselves. But we await the investigations, because there must be an investigation and there must be reasons for if these items were found in the possession of that employee. Well, of course, the investigation will reveal what the true situation is. Police killed 3 alleged gun members in Caroni. Yes, indeed. So the dragnet has started, and the police vigilance seem to be paying off from that perspective. Or is it that that is just an exception to the rule? We don't know, having regard to the proliferation of murders and, of course, home invasion and other serious crimes, including, of course, car theft. I took a note of the car theft in Trinidad and Tobago this year in particular, and what it shows is that there is a tremendous increase. And so, therefore, in other areas of crime, this government seems to be continuing the process of record breaking. So even in car theft, I think 3 consecutive years, this government has outstripped any other government in terms of car theft as well. Quite apart from murders, quite apart from dengue deaths, and quite apart from, of course, premature deaths, prenatal deaths. In other words, babies' deaths in the prenatal wards in this country, and in this case, of course, in particular, Port of Spain General Hospital. 3 burnt bodies discovered over the weekend. Yes, so that's another development taking place. I saw that our good friend on the crime show at location at one of those discoveries, the details of which, of course, we will. I'm sure that some of the callers would be interested in that area as well. Chinese Steel Ensemble, of course, celebrates World Steel Pan Day. Well, that was yesterday, I believe it was. The world has recognized that. Trinidad and Tobago has formally, of course, acknowledged the steel pan as the national instrument legislatively. And then, of course, I see that there's an intellectual property right that was given to Pan Tobago recently, coming out of a symposium where, of course, Trinidad and Tobago is recognized as the place where the steel pan was invented, the only percussion instrument in the 20th century invented, and by all means, it's better late than never in my view. But of course, it may also be too little, or too little, too late, because Japan and Barbados and all these places are claiming that the steel pan is theirs at various levels. So let's see how that pans out. And Nitco,
I watch out how they go World Steel Pan Festival, or however it go.
Yes.
The pan men them come out, they say in Port of Spain there. And look at how much of them came out to celebrate that day. How much of them come out to stand up for their land that gone.
And you know, it's Andy and well said. Well said, my friend.
Money.
Yeah.
They don't want the money. So pan men could only come out for the fat. But when it comes to the money, they can't come out for that. What a stupid setup.
Yeah, well said. Well said, and beautiful observation. And it's only the ground report will bring that to people's consciousness, inclusive of the pan fraternity. Because, of course, we have highlighted the fact that here it is, you have several acres of land that could have been used for multiple purposes. And there has been, of course, a work plan, or should I say a land use initiative that was developed when and in association with the handing over to Pan Tobago of that parcel of land. And today, of course, they have given up that for a very small property, yet to be handed over, yet to be reconstructed, yet to be renovated on Rice Road.
They give up that to the end of the day to get to make sure that they have panorama and all the top bands and them get in as normal. They give up that to make sure when it's World Pan, Steel Pan Day, that they could come out in the streets. They give up that for nothing. But I also seen here deadly encounter. Police linked trio killed in a Caroni shootout to resistance gang. So it have a new gang, and I thought that 6 and a 7. So it have a resistance now too.
Well, yeah. From my observation, I've read that as well. That is when I remember earlier I mentioned that as part of the trending topics, but I didn't go into any details. But yes, I read that the resistance gang, and that attracted my attention one time. In addition, of course, to the 6 and the 7s and the 8s and the 9s, you know, have, of course,
so you're not
something called a resistance gang.
So you ain't too sure that it have a resistance gang.
No, well, no, the police said that. So if the police say that, it means that their intelligence would have brought that to the attention, yeah, and therefore
the same Trinidad and Tobago Police Service intelligence that can solve crime and the murders in order. Because if I get ready to thief Milo in the cupboard every day, still thief a 2 pieces of meat out of the pot, still use the sugar to make whatever, and mommy and daddy ain't seeing, and I get away every day and them ain't seen. What going to make me stop by? That going to make me more bold that I go down and encourage my rest of brother and them, hey, well, let me do the same thing too. I see the mother count here, but I know online. Many of them that are online there. Bernadette, Motu, all of you that is online there. I see the mother toll is, but I seen 371. I know if that is where it reached there. But oh boy, 371. Also senior bounty killer calls for peace in Trinidad and Tobago. I can remember a long time when it's Trinidad and Tobagonians, artists and them used to be calling for peace in Jamaica. Now Jamaica calling for peace in Trinidad.
Well, there's a big story behind that one because Bounty was detained for about 9 hours. They didn't want to let him into the country, of course, because of his past and the lyrical content, of his music, of his presentation. And you had a number of artists coming to his rescue, including, of course, I think it's Dwayne Bravo, the famous West Indian cricketer of Trinidad Vintage, among others, including, of course, I think the foreign minister the foreign minister of Jamaica also came to his rescue, and that is how he was allowed into the country, because the authorities were strident apparently that he would not be allowed to perform in Trinidad. And of course that's because of past, but of course as he came in, I think that was a good diplomatic move by him. He should be a politician. He of course during his performance at the paddock of the Queen's Park Savannah, he did make some interjection in his performance, calling for the reduction of and the ceasing of criminal conduct in Trinidad. Of course, it must be said that Jamaica is one of the most violent countries in the Caribbean as well. So one may say that why not apply that same admonition at home? The cynic will say that, but well done, Bounty. I think that is welcome, and I'm sure that will give him a pass on the next occasion to come back to Trinidad, no doubt.
You feel that will give him a pass there?
Yeah. Well, he must have felt that. I mean, if it's me, I will do the same thing in order to see
man,
to make
big ones, you know.
Yeah,
big ones.
To make the authorities know that I'm no threat and I'm not going to advocate violence, as Trinidad music seem to be taking that role, and our artists are being banned up the islands as well because of the lyrical content of Trinidad music, which of course is popular, just as reggae was and continues to be, and is a growing genre, and added to, of course, the culture of Trinidad, but more significantly that of the Caribbean, and we see how that pans. What has to happen is that they should take a page from Bounty and realize early that violent lyrical content is not sustainable, one, and is not durable, and at the same time is unacceptable having regard to the level of crime in the various Caribbean countries, but more significantly for us is in Trinidad, so and the fact that the government we know can do more and have not been able to do more, simply because when the PNM is in government, more murders occur, and therefore there's a nexus between the violence that Trinidad and Tobago experiences, record breaking, and the PNM in office. So what's the solution? Get them to hell out of office.
So true. A pleasant good morning.
Oh yes, we have a caller. Good morning.
Andy, LENNOX, Mikey, good morning, God bless you. So what I called to tell you, I've just heard you said you don't know what the count is. But this morning in Fish Village was another murder, and the count for this morning is 389.
Oh, wow. God, but the papers was telling me here, let me tell you.
So you all take care. God bless, I'll call you later.
Thank
389, boy. Well, that real people. Because look, I seen in the papers here, and there's the updated, but 371. So every 371 now it reached 389.
Yeah.
And the papers messed up all of them.
And Raguna, the political scientist and commentator, mentioned that, of course, the inability of the government to put a handle on crime they see he find it very difficult for Rowley. He has very limited option, but has to call election because it is constitutionally due inevitably. And of course, the performance of the economy. That is why he is speculating why they're so desperate to implement the property tax. But even that itself will be a bane, will be, of course, an exercise in futility, because they told us in 2015, and nobody will forget that. And we have a duty to not let the population forget that they said that they were not going to touch or interfere with property tax in 2015. So the PNM is in a quagmire. Nothing new to us, but it is nice to see that these experts are now, of course, following the position of the ground report, which we have been saying very, very early, and therefore they cannot claim originality in terms of sharing that information, except they are now the bearers of what the ground report has been saying in terms of reports.
Oh boy, 5 million water maintenance completed ahead of schedule. Well, everybody was expecting that water to be organized today. Time check, it's 42 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the ground report. Yours truly, the Pitbull of Radio, and LENNOX Smith in studio. Attorneys step in to assess evicted San Fernando families. Very good to you, attorneys that stepped in. Security guard critical after shooting Akbar. Some of you, but you know, we will always go into the story based on what? Oh boy, the pretty larceny office. The Hunt and PBR crash. Hurt and PBR in a priority bus route crash. THA employee arrested for drug trafficking.
Yeah, that's the THA worker that I referred to earlier. Yeah, from I think his place of employment is that of the chief secretary's office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah, so quite a lot of development. And of course, the police are going to capitalize on that, and you're going to have a lot of political repercussions there. I see in the minority leader in the THA said, you see, don't look at us, look at them. Our hands are clean. But of course, that is like the devil attempting to go to church, knowing that he's in fact the devil.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Morning, caller. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you. What's your contribution on the ground report this morning?
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, ground report.
Yes, good morning to you.
And Lennox.
Hey.
Lennox. Yeah, add to the murder rate that we carry our Olympic medal at all under the PNM. This is in office. The last medal they won was at bronze, and that was in 2016. That is he's at the UNC. When UNC was in power, they went 9 years. No, this PNM here, and not a medal. Nothing for nobody.
Women, them are real medals. Most among the people in our country dead during the COVID. Most among the people they're forced to take injection that didn't think. The most among the murders per year, they will come medals. But them are real medals. Unemployment, crime. Look at medals, them real medaling.
Crime. And Lennox, I see the Prime Minister who's sitting in the office right now, Stuart Young. He gone and say he rescued this country economy, right? And he said furthermore that he given the PNM a A+. You mean a C minus? Because everything in this country is C for yourself. Nothing helping nobody here. It's C for yourself. You gotta see what yourself. You gotta fix the road yourself. You gotta do everything you're doing here. It's C for yourself. They ain't helping nobody, and he gives himself a A. What kind of ridiculous, foolish statement this man Stuart Young, like the power gone to his head, eh? Look, I don't want to say what I say about this man, but he insulting people with that foolishness. So he come there last week when he in his Prime Minister chair and saying all about the accomplishment them do in this country. You see what's going on in this place? He's in, and here he's saying he don't get no sleep over in the night when he murder rate going up like that because he just a restless night. Restless. And they break in your house and come in the murder you and kill your family. You ain't see all the killing people? They burn a man outside the house, right? And the next one they take him and throw him in a pineapple field and they massacre he there too. You see some kind of evil, nasty, demonic kind of murders taking place in the country? Under this PNM, I tell you, the Lokoto Jambi taking blood. Have a good day, gentlemen.
Oh. And he's right. I mean, any casual observer will...
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, caller. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Andy, Smithy, and Mikey. They using a mediocrity scale to grade themselves. Look what just happened with the Olympics. For 2 consecutive years, Trinidad and Tobago came last on the medal table. What that tells us, a man they call Marvin Gonzalez, Minister of National Security, he said it was a successful operation, an operation that they allow 500,000 people not to have water. And he is in front of everybody as the man who making all the decisions in Wassa to do photo ops with all the areas they're doing the work to tell us it was a success. What sort of rubbish? I mean to say an A grade they're getting on mediocrity. Look, for example, I want to focus on the Olympics. All this thing, all the facilities the PP government did has gone to zero because the bad mind of this current government. The last time we were successful and we had a haul of medals was under the leadership of the PP government and by extension Arnold Roberts. We had gold, we had silver, we had bronze. I think it's 4 or 5 medals we came back with. 2 consecutive Olympics after that is 0-0. You know what we should have done with all those athletes? I'm not banging them, that has gone to the Olympics. We should have weighed them now and before they enter the Olympic venue. We want to see if they went to eat food to get fat because I am so disappointed with that. And I want to hear what the Prime Minister have to say. I mean, they say he big up this fellow who came forth. That is good, nice, he tried. But the rest of the team that they sent was geriatrics and infirm people, every excuse. Just like how the Prime Minister and Stuart Young and them just make excuse for the 600 consecutive murders for the last 3 years. They're making excuses. These people, I want to know who vetted all these athletes. The most important thing, you put a cheat and let it cheat to hold our flag. She was suspended for two years, and we still send her to hold a flag, and that is what we happy about. That flag bearer tells us where we're going. Now, I want to help them plan for the next Olympics, right? And I want them to enter into 3 sports. The steeplechase, and you know why I want them to enter into the steeplechase? The amount of photos we have in the road, they can start practicing now. The other one I want them to enter is equestrian. That is riding horse. We have a Minister of National Security. He's very good at that. He could probably be a tutor and train them as a coach. You know, he was riding on a horse with a little young fella, showing the youth how to ride horse. And the third one is shooting. I see a video clip, they say those people that use one eye in the Olympics. And they say we are shooters in Trinidad and Tobago, could shoot with the eye closed. And we had some good shooters, both Manning and all of those things are gone, are spending enough time. I'm disgusted with this government and the governance policy. Go on and have a nice morning.
Thank you very much for your contribution, caller. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Marilyn C. Charan, Stephen Young, a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. Rick Lutchman, Kati, all of you that are already locked on. Passad, all of you. Bernadette, good morning to each and every one of you. Well, I know you all share. The lines are open. While we want to go through some of the headliners, the lines are open to you. 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. We'll give you a WhatsApp call. We'll send a WhatsApp voice note at 366-3053, 366-3053. The lines are open. What else we have in the headliners there, Lennox Smith?
Quite a lot of information,
Resistance gang.
Yeah, in Trinidad and Tobago, every weekend past always produces for the commencement of the work week new information about the same issue, but more heinous and more devastating than the weeks before, or the years before, the months before, as the case may be. So, of course, we have another one. Activist takes a speaker to court over refusal to appear in the House. Balgobin, Ravi Balgobin again is in the news. There was a debate on the whole question of the performance of the government during the COVID in particular, and I think it was the current minister in the Ministry of National Security. In my view, he is the minister because he's in control of the police. So therefore, a demotion for Hines. But he during that debate claimed that the government spent millions of dollars because of bringing what he described as frivolous matters to the court. And
right, who in that debate?
That was sometime in the past. So Ravi Balgobin is saying that the speaker had a right, even though he made an application, to have him as a person who is outside of the parliament. And since the parliamentarians have, of course, the freedom of speech, the protection of the parliament to speak as they want, he has a duty and responsibility to protect his name, because that information, notwithstanding that these parliamentarians have a right to speak and the freedom to speak, he has a right as well to defend his name, because his name was being called as the person who preventing the government or causing the government to spend a whole set of money in court. And he considered, Scotland considered it very frivolous and nebulous and vindictive and all those kinds of terms. And all he is saying now that he applied to the speaker to defend his name as a person outside of the system, and the speaker refused, and therefore he has of course gone to court to have the speaker give him an opportunity to clear his name. That is a very interesting development under, of course, standing order 18.
I feel you get you.
Yeah, I feel so too. I think it's only right. Freedom of speech cannot mean that a parliamentarian can malign under the protection of the parliament, under the protection of the standing orders that has been established. And you could say what you want about a particular individual who has no recourse, including, of course, defamation in court. And at least the speaker, if once the person feels so aggrieved and have asked you to give him an opportunity, whether in writing or otherwise, which of course the speaker normally will read out. Yeah, that has not happened. But let's go to the court. Good morning.
All you ever hear once upon it, and you had a foolish man build his house upon the sand, and the house came tumbling down. That is the foolish government we have in this country here today. Just imagine this. All the time the sun blazing hot. You're walking the road, you have to be having an umbrella over your head. Now the rain starts falling, buckets of drop, people house flooding in this country. And you know the foolish government now want people to call them, to let them know where they could come and clean the drains. That is all your work. All you're supposed to get me told and give it to the workers for them to come and clean the drains and rivers. They wait until the rain starts to fall. All you wait until the rain starts to fall, so powerful and heavy, flooding the place. People can't even go to want to say, no, all they're cleaning, or they want to come and clean the drain. When all you're going to get all your things for election, and all you're signing on these loopholes, all you're going up the hill, down the hill, and finding people wherever there is. So why the hell no? People have to call on you to clean the drains and the river. That is all your work. We're not supposed to do that. But yet, all you want to sit down and say we opposition, we reached the age to go, no, she has reached the age. God tell her, God put her there. So when all this talking, convert and leave out, my opposition leader alone. She do what she do, and she promised up. She will bring back the land and building tax. That is what we will. We are not looking at this tax the government has now. We want the land and building tax, and she promised us she will do that for us. So leave my opposition leader or your foolish government.
Thank you so much. Oh boy, let me do the honorable thing. For all of you that are locked on, and plenty new names I'm seeing, because it look like you all getting the message where we are. Very good. Grace Caesar, good morning to you. Ruby Sammy, good morning. Bernadette, all of you, good morning. Richard Ramlogan, a pleasant good morning to you. Ramchan, good morning to you, Ramchan. Well, Bujam John, morning to you. I make a mistake between you and Barry Bujam. Barry Bujam, they say he's a troublemaker. But Barry Bujam, if you're listening, a pleasant well, you always says, come on. Good morning to you. Just behave yourself. That's all. That's all. Mentor, a pleasant good morning to you. Rick Lutchman, good morning. Michael GP, good morning to you. Prasad, Gloria Escola, good morning. Crystal. Yes. Hi, Crystal Fernandez, good morning. Marilyn Citran, good morning. But I ain't see Matilda Rhodes yet. And I had to call her Maria. I'm going to try a live call with her. Marie, I'm in today to see if I get on to her.
Well, of course, a pleasant good morning to those as well who are locked on now on the Corridor Transformation on YouTube. And, of course, you log into Love Laventil on Facebook, so just spread. And, of course, those who are still, who have preferred by way of choice to be on the what's that union? The Workers' Union platform
Workers' Rights Union.
The Workers' Rights Union. Yes, I always get mixed up with that appellation or that name. But Workers' Rights Union, yes, and of course those who prefer Corridor Transformation on YouTube, just log in Corridor Transformation and you'll get it. Up to last night, of course, the people were inquiring as to how you'll get us, and at the same time stay for the 8 o'clock tonight, of course. Corridor Transformation, well, that is where you go on YouTube. Of course, you just log in Corridor Transformation, you will get there, and of course, and just click that button to follow, and of course it will continue to have you follow. And then of course in the case of Facebook, then you log into Love Laventil, those of you who prefer that platform or only have that particular app to work with and to communicate with your favorite morning program, The Ground Report. Don't forget, of course, Real Media TT. That is our central, or should I say, our home base, if you want to call it that. But the fact of the matter is that you have all these options that are available to you, much more than we would have had if we were on radio. Andy?
Yes. Darrow, good morning to you, Darrow. Tara, good morning to you. Anne Jackman, good morning to you. Carla, good morning. Carla, young hip. I wanted to. Chinese up to good morning, Barbara. Good morning to you. So much of you all, man. In your hundreds. Bernadette, good morning to you. Roger Mohammed, a pleasant good morning to you. Jacqueline Sami, good morning. Indra, good morning. Just broken through. Barloop, a pleasant good morning to you. All that Maki Thunder Boom. He used to get trouble. I wonder if he still getting he just behave himself, He converted to the right thing. It had the next Bernadette day too, So it had many Bernadettes. Stefan Ramsarup, good morning to you. All of you are Fufu. You're now going by. Good morning, Fufu. Sir Drew, good morning, Sir Drew. Nigel Jones, good morning to you. How I see Marilyn, see Anne boy, Anne-Marie Amin. LP, good morning. Now see you there, man. Ruby, good morning. Bernadette KR, I the next Bernadette, man. KR, good morning to you. Neil, good morning to you, man. All of you. So now, don't forget the lines are open while we organize. Share. We have Barry Bihari Lal. Good morning to you, my brother. Frank James, good morning. Yes, Sita, good morning. Nice, all showing all himself, man. Very good. What else you have, dear Lennox Smith?
Well, yes, of course. We have quite a lot of information this morning. Of course, MSJ questions the PM's statement on EBC. Remember last week, of course, that was a current topic. It continues, of course, to swirl, and of course, just as what we had suspected is always something sinister, something with an ulterior motive, and the MSJ is now, of course, questioning whether or not Dr. Rowley has cocoa in the sun. Why, of course, he is claiming, and of course, the MSJ made reference to Eric Williams when, of course, the Constitution Committee did in fact recommend a system of government and governance that he said is a dagger to the PNM, because according to Abdullah and they, it is about the PNM and has nothing to do with the country. So proportional representation at the time, and yes, it is well recorded that Eric Williams said that is a dagger to the PNM, because they were so bent, as is this case with this Prime Minister in particular, and this character called Dr. Rowley, that he is so focused on power and concentration of power that, of course, sharing power is not an option as far as they are concerned. Only because they have been relatively so far successful, but these days we see that that success is now waning, and they will have no choice eventually but to beg for other groups to join them in terms of attempting to form a government. I say this as a prediction because 22 seat before that the PNM dominated.
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah. Good morning.
Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
You're live. Morning, caller.
You know that one?
We hearing you live and no caller. Morning.
Good morning.
Steve Joseph, good morning to you. Morning.
He probably shy. He gets stage fright. You know, and have that. You know, some people, they are intimidated to call the ground report. Well, let me dissuade you from that fright. We will not, of course, question your vocab, question the way how you speak, so long as, of course, it is audible and we can comprehend. That's all. It doesn't matter, green verb, black verb, yellow verb, that is irrelevant to us. So what we want is for you to express yourself, and of course that is a motivation, encouragement to all and sundry who may have in their minds to make a contribution, but believe how you would say it might be not as you would like, the formal, should I say, English. No. We are Trinbagonians essentially, and we have a particular type of dialect, and we would accommodate that here. I don't know for other programs, but we never criticize someone for the way that they express themselves.
Exactly. Oh boy, Miss Phillip, a pleasant good morning to you. Patrick, here with a good morning. Vidya, a pleasant good morning to you. All of you that are now locked on. And then let's take in it. Let's hear what headliners had to say. Let's hear again what the 1% of them had to say. The PNM party group, Digest how it is. Oh boy, oh boy, oh
United
boy.
National Congress is taking offense to a suggestion from a senior counsel that Kamala Persad-Bissessar should follow Joe Biden's example and take herself out of the running for the next general election. Senior counsel Martin Daly made that comment.
Senior counsel Martin Daly. Oh boy.
To Wade Mark. Daly wrote that Persad-Bissessar is being perceived as an electoral liability for the party she leads. However, Senator Mark fired back, questioning why Daly did not instead focus on what he called the poor performance of Keith Rowley. Senator Mark said there is no comparison to be made between Persad-Bissessar and 81-year-old Joe Biden because the former still has the overwhelming support of the party to lead it.
No, Mr. Columnist. Our leader was properly and soundly and overwhelmingly elected to be the leader of our great and glorious party. She has the overwhelming support of our party, its membership, and I dare say the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
2 attorneys have stepped up to help a pregnant mother.
No calling now. When it's news,
from their
no
homes
call.
last Thursday by the Housing Development Corporation. Michaela Pandey, the leader of the Patriotic Front, and the UNC Senator Sean Sobers have offered to assist the families. The residents are claiming that the HDC neither owns the houses nor the lands upon which their homes are located. The eviction notice they received from the HDC does not bear their address. Yesterday, the leader of the Patriotic Front visited them to offer her support.
What right and authority does the HDC have? I do not know, so I can't give legal advice on that. What I can tell you is, this ain't an HDC development. I have lived here, like I say, my entire life, and I know this I know these people, I know them. It would be her grandma, she was young before she had kids, and this is her grandchild. They've been here for a long time.
And a 30-year-old man employed in the office of the Chief Secretary was detained over the weekend in connection with illegal trafficking activities. Officers were on mobile patrol along Joefield Trace in Lambo when they spotted the heavily tinted Mitsubishi Lancer driving suspiciously. The car was stopped and officers found a Glock pistol, 15 rounds of 9mm ammunition, cannabis, ecstasy pills, 2 shortwave radios and other paraphernalia. The driver, who did not have his license, was arrested on the spot, and inquiries are continuing. Well, those were your 6 a.m. news headlines. We'll have...
Oh boy! Louis, Small Dread, a pleasant good morning to you, Small Dread. You, your wife, all of you, a pleasant good morning to you. I know I'm supposed to see Delia somewhere there. Delia, a pleasant good morning to you. Somebody say morning to Delia. Edmund Mendez, a pleasant good morning to you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. While we continue. Don't forget the lines are open, eh? Lennox Smith, what else you have for us there, man, in the headliners?
Well, we are good enough, if I am not mistaken, political scientist, I think, connected to UE, and I think he was the man with respect to the ethics about elections and complaining that he doesn't have enough money. Of course, that came out, as did the response by the Prime Minister to a statement by the EBC chairman of trying to introducing vetting of returning officers and presiding officers as far as their political affiliation is concerned. I said MSJ, among others, were very suspicious as to the rationale for that statement. And we know, of course, there's always something sinister, always something with some ulterior motive that is inimical, well, put another way, to benefit the PNM per se as opposed to national interest. But that being as it may, of course, Raghunath is saying that crime economy biggest hurdles to hurdles of the PNM. But let's go to the lines.
Biggest hurdles of the PNM, the crime.
Yeah.
That's true.
And the economy. Good morning.
And Andy and Lennox.
Yes.
Martin Daly. I have no respect for him. Right? I don't even listen to him no more. He's irrelevant. As far as I'm concerned, Daly is like a Daly does assaults as far as I'm concerned to him. I don't take you on, so forget it.
And I think the majority of the population, if not all, will agree with you, because it is total nonsense. You ain't asking for Rowley. You're not analyzing Rowley, but you're analyzing Kamala. And the PNM, the PNM is on the descendancy, while the UNC is on the ascendancy. And you can't see that. You're supposed to be a man who has some degree of reputable integrity to defend. Well, I suppose it's up for grab now.
Go ahead, Paula.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Sabrina Samlal Singh, a pleasant good morning to you. Smith, good morning. Go ahead, caller, pleasant good morning. Onika, pleasant good morning to you. Caller, talk by the time. Go ahead, morning. Oh boy, next caller, man. Oh
yeah,
boy.
Well, in spite of our encouragement, there are those who are going to still have some trepidation, but in the fullness of time, I'm sure people will brave the situation and get on and speak your mind. No other place to do so but the ground report. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, the ground report.
Yes, good morning.
Black Chinese, good morning to you. Oh, you young, oh, the hell, girl, you really are Chinese.
Morning.
Go ahead.
Lennox Smith, did you finish my assignment? What tell you? I text you, know.
Yes, I know. I'm not yet finished, boy. You give me a big assignment there, boy. It's so much. Should I say roads?
Yeah, but take your time. I want the public to know.
Right.
Yeah. And concerning Mr. Daly, he's a PNM that handpicked as an independent senator, and it have others who never do nothing independently for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So we know where they're coming from. He's a PNM. Kamala is like the Kamala in America.
I think I think that Dr. Rowley's wife, to what I was hearing, working at his chamber or something. So if I stand to be corrected, but Dr. Rowley's wife work at his chamber.
All of them in the same kettle of fish, yeah. If he judge we Kamala and American Kamala is about the same feature, Rowley afraid she and Trump afraid the one in America. Yeah. Why is there one Kamala to go for? That according to Tim Walz in America, why they mind their own business? All right, later.
All right, thank you very much.
But Andy, don't you find it strange that he will make that kind of comparison? He's supposed to be a man who has, well, I should say, public opinion influence. And to make that illogical comparison, you know that there's something more in the motor than the pestle. How could you compare Kamala with Biden? I just can't see the relationship. And I'm sure a lot of ordinary people are observing that as well. So there must be something more in the motor than the pestle.
It is. Morning, caller.
Andy, good morning.
Morning.
Andy.
Leon Charles, good morning to you too. Go ahead, man.
Andy, we need to do like what we are doing here in Trinidad. We need to get on the bullet train. Trinidad need to get on that train with Kamala. Get rid of Rowley. We need to get on that train. Because here we are moving so fast that one of the days you guys are going to read that Donald Trump committed suicide. Because that man is so foolish. Have 100 minutes to have a press conference, and 98 minutes he talks rubbish. So that's what Rowley does do. So we need to get people come out, get on the train for Kamala, get out there, people. Look what we are doing here. We are on the train with the bullet train, we call it. And get out of the business, according to Tim Walz. And we're not going back. Kamala needs to use the phrase, we're not going back, we're moving forward. So Trinidadian, please, we need to move on. We are getting rid of that criminal Trump, and we need to get rid of that criminal Rowley. My friend, you guys have a wonderful day today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Song and revive. Serious Democrat.
Revitalize.
The Republicans go call in and they will have their say.
Of course.
Right here on the ground report. It is what it is.
Of course, but the Republicans are a bit subdued these days, both home and abroad. Well, here home in America and abroad would include, of course, Trinidad and Tobago. They're a bit subdued. I mean, he was.
They're subdued. They fighting the fight. They don't know that most likely, well, is Donald Trump going to win the elections? It is what it is. The candidate take a little too long
to be confirmed by the normal process. I think it would be other factors. She is an African. She is a woman. All of those factors would play out in the eventual outcome. Right now, I have no horse in the race. I could just make some objective, as best as I can, analysis.
You used to be talking about Trump and things. Now you're playing no horse in the race because you're afraid them Yankee and them.
Well, I agree with you, but I was tending to Trump when Biden would have been the candidate. But now that Kamala is in the race now, I am seeing, of course, a revitalization and a tendency that I have taken a neutral position at this point in time and would simply just move with the punches, so to speak.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's a bagwagon job. You're on the bullet train. All of a sudden you get put in on the bullet train just so by.
I never.
Morning caller.
You see, you want to misrepresent what I just say. But go ahead. Yes, my friend. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
What's your contribution for us this morning, darling?
It's just that you were talking there about what's going on in the U.S. It's really tickled my mind to think about what people truly support. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Mm-hmm.
What people truly support. Now, we have one candidate that is more or less behind the alphabet community and implementing certain things in schools, cutting off the body parts, perfectly healthy body parts for children and all these sort of things. We have another candidate saying no. And so many other things that I could point fingers to. And we say that we are believers. And when we look at the policies of what people actually trying to implement, we would hate the person that would say, hey, we want to teach Satan school and after school, and while we kicking out the Bible, why can't we have both? We wouldn't support somebody that's saying something like that, but we hate Donald Trump and we support Kamala, even though she makes absolutely no sense, right? We see the policies that he put in place that actually were working, but media and brainwashing. Good luck to this world. But why not RFK? He doesn't make sense to anybody. Anyway, have a good day, people.
Yeah, so she's in a quagmire just as me. And she has struggled the midline. Yeah.
He obviously is for us,
Of course.
You,
yeah, no doubt.
Although it all this, let's some bullet train and this and that, my gut feeling jump low. I could be wrong, but I believe I'm absolutely right. Donald Trump going and win the next elections in America.
All right.
I mean, it's not that I favor he or favor this one or that one or anybody at all. But I really believe he will win the next general elections. Because at this point in time, America needs somebody strong. Biden real messed up bad. Real messed up bad. And what people watching at is Kamala Harris was his vice president.
Yeah, that's a good argument. That's a good argument against her. Yeah.
Not different. It's not different to my same partner. Like I go challenge him. Whether you afraid and you jump on the bullet chain dress, so it's no different to some. All right, Rowdy step down from being the leader of the PNM because that's the next talk they want to do. And whether they put Manning's son or whether they put Amory Brown or whether it's Penny Beckles or here Foster Cummins, whoever they're going to put at the leader there, whether it's Young, any one of them. In my book, when I watch Rowley, I see all of them and none to be judged different when you come in elections. Because here why? They were there and they are still there while Dr. Rowley leadership sucks. While we have massive corruption, waste and plundering. While in Trinidad and Tobago, nothing working. And Amory brought all of them there. Look at him what I told. National security in a mess in this country. Who next? Going on there, dicey talk. And all of them there. All of them is a part of his cabinet. Somebody could tell me because they change Rowley face and they give me penny, that all of a sudden I go jump on a bullet train? They change Biden face and give me Kamala. That Kamala there is not the Kamala right here in Trinidad at all. She was a part of the same administration in which all of a sudden was doing Tata, and all of a sudden that administration doing good. Because what? It's not Kamala again, it's not Biden again, it's Kamala. Same Democrat, same government. Joe Biden was a part of Obama team 2. Vice President for Obama. So come on, man. Come on, man. Plain talk, bad manners. I watching that closely, and most of all, America need a man at this point in time. With how weak Joe Biden as president, falling down here, falling down there, falling down there, and had a vice president Kamala there to the side. So we tell him about. And I always watch things very objective, openly. She was there. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they both admin the same administration. None could never say none better than none, because they both cut from the same cloth. She was his vice president.
But,
so that is tickly part, I find. If the Democrat somebody else that wasn't a part of the governance of America, well, then I say right. Well, I know my boy, they're going and call, as Richard Ramlogan say, Andy, go to the head of the class. Not even my damn co-host go say that, because if read them.
Why must I? Why must I? Because I don't agree in entirety, so I cannot say that. I see myself as an objective man as well, but of course the comparison to me is flawed.
The points I bring across there, were they good points or yes or no?
No,
I use Trinidad too.
It is flawed.
And all of them is part of the Rowley cabinet.
In my view, it's flawed because it has nothing to do with only that. It has to do with Biden's age. It has to do with his senility compared to Trump at that point in time. Apart from policies. Yeah. So there are other factors that has to be taken into account. Of course, Kamala is a refreshing should I say comparison, having regard to her vitality, having regard to her popularity coming out of Biden's shadow, you know. So there are a number of others, but in case of Trinidad, it's clear that if you put as what's his name? Raguna. Go ahead, take the call, because I was looking at Trinidad, but go ahead.
All the time I trade and you say you implicate no side, you think your boy, as I talk, all of a sudden you come in.
No, I still haven't taken any side. I'm saying that I'm looking at it objectively.
But I ain't take no side yet.
But you now say that if you have to choose is so and so. I didn't say that.
No, I never said.
Oh God, boy.
Trinidad.
Yeah.
I talk about Trinidad. And if I had to choose when it comes to Trinidad, I can't pick none because all of them was riding the
But you also said if you have to choose in America, you're choosing Donald Trump. I mean, everybody hear you. You're playing Rowley for me this morning or what?
Look, oh God, don't you jump on. Things hard this morning. Let me get my tune ready there. Tell me when I know I'm going to get cussed from people. They say play.
No, but you're trying Rowley there and we, man. You tell me that you're going to choose Trump and now you're saying no. You just say that you like probably get to hear what?
Hey, I supporting Trump.
Well, you hear again? So you going mad then? Like Rowley?
I not let me.
Let's go to Elites. Let's go to Elites. Let's go to Elites. A pleasant good morning.
Like that. I ain't Andy Belly this morning. Everybody going in Andy tail like nothing. Hey, she was there. She could have think good Biden, man. Hey, somebody thinks he do good. Somebody thinks he do bad. She had to take responsibility. Caller, go ahead, caller.
Go ahead, caller. We give way to you.
Yeah. We had to give it to them, you know. Them going and talking.
Yeah. Because I seen here, Raghunath. Let me just make sure. Yeah, Raghunath is saying, the scientist saying that he have Amy Brown as a possible leader. He has Short Young as a possible leader. And then, of course, bringing up the rare, if there is such, you have, of course, Cummins who don't know if he coming or he going. I mean, those are, and then, of course, by the way, he talked about Penelope Beckles, who did, in fact, challenge, but he doesn't see her in the runnings. Well, if those are the selections, if that is the talent that PNM has, then of course I would say that they have been forsaken not only by the Almighty but by the devil too.
All right, like my friend Sabrina, I like she commended Sam Lal Singh. Do you understand? She said, Andy, I agree with Andy. Kamala is singing from the same hymn book as Biden and Obama. Obama really disappoint me as a black man. He come like the PNM. When the black man in power, they don't empower black people at all. So far, to what I'm reading, is the Republicans always give black people power. Just like how the Indians here always give black people power. Look at Dr. Lennox Smith is a grateful fella. This lady asked Bishop Bababerg get his school from all the Indians and them. PNM don't give black people nothing. David Mohammed.
I never support the PNM.
Trinidad. I support Kamala in Trinidad.
You talking more and more like Rowley.
Martin Daly fast and out of place with himself to want to compare this Kamala here with that Kamala day.
That I absolutely agree.
This Kamala here have a proven track record to stand up, expel or fire ministers when they're doing wrong.
Yeah,
everybody was walking. Yeah. I could judge and well seen when Trump was there in power, thing was going plenty better in America. You see, now they're going to say, Andy, you live in Trinidad. Anyhow. Well, I understand Miss Anna Ramsamy, my good friend, Miss Santa Cruz. She don't like how Trump is talk in this kind of aggressive way. He's very kind of... He voices like Anna Roberts. He have a kind of harsh kind of voice when he talking. It sounds like he buffing you all. But no, Trump is a very good man. He's not buffing you all at all. Just like how the pitbull and buffing all at all. It is what it is. Nice. Look, Sam Lal Singh says she supports Kamala in Trinidad all the way. Everybody saying Trump. Now let me get back to Trinidad politics. You see that Kamala across there and that Trump across there, them handling them stories. May want nobody call me to tell me nothing about them across there again. I only want to hear about Trinidad politics. Rowley, yeah. And those say are chickening out at all. America and the stories, Trinidad and the stories. All you know my old saying. I like to dance at home before I dance abroad. I can't dance abroad there in the Yankee dollar at all. They $TT I spend here. So that is just how it is. So while Lennox Smith and all only want to dance abroad.
So let's get home.
And only in 11 days.
The political scientist, Bishnu Raghunath, his choice for leadership, Amy Brown, Stuart Young, Cummins. What's your view on that? I've said mine that clearly there is a paucity of talent in the PNM. If those are the choices that has come to the mind of this scientist. Yeah, but then he also said that some leaders emerged in the PNM historically that came from nowhere, like Manning, he says, like Chambers and so on. So he also conditioned that and give us another dimension as to how a leader will emerge in the PNM when the inevitable disappearance of Rowley, one way or another, whether it be in silver bracelets or blue lights or otherwise. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me take the calls.
Yeah.
That is all you know. So like Andy also played the Port of Spain corporal role this morning. There's only certain things that heat up. How long I waiting on calls? Already the call dripping like oil. Jutuk. And then when Port of Spain and them call, all let them call. But there's them that make all they call. Morning caller. What says thou this morning caller? I love you. Go ahead, make your wonderful contribution. Remember the pitbull love you. Don't be on the pitbull. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
To the ground. While we discuss everything about general elections and elections in Trinidad and Tobago, if we go back to 2015, the PNM won the election in 2015, and it is all about ill-speaking the political leader, Dr. T. Christopher Rowley. In the matrix of things, if everybody continue speaking the African people in Trinidad and Tobago, they will automatically think that you guys are propping up the Indo-Trinidadians here to get into government. So all I have to level the playing field and speak level. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We listen very attentively.
All right? If we don't do that, then we have major problems. The other thing is that nobody does the calculation for children who pass common entrance and to go to school for 5 years. So today somebody will give them some books for free, they will give them 10, whatever. But it actually costs a parent close to $20,000 TT for the school academic year to buy books, clothing, send them to school, little passage, for them to buy little snacks, not their regular life. Right? So what we should be encouraging the young children to do is to understand the sacrifices the parents are making, and then for 5 years how much money they will spend, and don't allow them to waste the parents' money and waste them time. So we should be convincing them to go to school and get their education. If we have a smart nation, we will have no crime. We will have nobody selling drugs, nobody killing nobody for $20, and our crime rate will go down. And that is what we have to start focusing on in this country. Well, have a blessed and wonderful day. And
Andy, I agree with the caller, except he must call back and tell us what have we been saying wrong about the PNM or about or about the UNC, because what we do is lay the facts on the table. The fact is that the UNC has outperformed the PNM in more ways than one. The fact is that they are on the ascendancy. Are you saying then that we must give equal treatment and talk about the PNM in the same way, when of course they are the ones that are creating the harm, the pain and the agony, and their policies and programs does not fit a contemporary Trinidad and Tobago? He has to tell us if we are, you see what I want, in other words, tell us if we are not speaking facts about both, and therefore you can draw your conclusion.
So that we must give go ahead, caller. Treatment. Listen over your phone. Talk about it's a real callers. And I saw Miss Santa Cruz, everybody want to call, so go ahead, caller.
Yes, morning again, gentlemen. That last caller, right, he's saying about educational opportunities, but where's the opportunities after you leave school? Answer me that question. Where is the opportunities under this government? They giving any opportunities employment-wise?
Nothing. No employment.
They have 10,000 vacancies in the public service and they ain't filling none. Anybody gain any work in the government is contract work. Am I wrong, Andy? It's contract work they're giving you. You have no stability in this government at all if you had to get work. It's a 6 months job again, and then after they go choose to renew it or let you go.
So true.
Right? And furthermore, I see your good friend, the bicycle and cold pot man, he got up somewhere in Central Side and talking about the extortion racket that taking place. Here is his proposal. He want the people to come up with ideas to give he to go and relate to Erla, and then Erla will come by with some DCP and talk about it and put a plan in place. What kind of stupid foolishness is man coming with? They put he there to make a clone of himself out of Scotland. You have no, I can say, you have no mindset in how to deal with this criminal this crime that taking place, especially extortion racket. The man is a rank failure. He want to go and gather information and make proposals after. We supposed to have the proposal beforehand to put into place. He want people to give you that. Wait for you there for. Oh gosh, man. Have a good day, Andy.
Thank you so much. Oh boy, the lines are open.
And Andy, you will understand why I took that position with the previous caller. Because he started by saying, and of course it's a constructive criticism. We are not feeling offended about it because that's his view. But certainly when he says that we sound as though we are in favor of the UNC or the Indian party, as the case may be, but we could only talk the truth and nothing but the truth. So if he can identify what drove him to draw that conclusion, and the only way you could do that really is if you're spreading propaganda as opposed to the truth on either side, because we may be saying things about the PNM that is not so. I would like to know, and we are saying things about the UNC probably that is not so. Tell us so that we could be corrected and adjust and adapt accordingly. Go ahead, Andy.
Call on.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I have a question. Yeah, I have a question here. Monitoring some latest news from Tobago. I understand that the Prime Minister of Tobago, Farley, he has been facetious here. He said he wants to use fishing vessels or rent or lease fishing vessels to help the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard. My question is, and I'm trying to picture a fishing vessel in the typical fishing vessel in Tobago. I think they're normally like pirogues.
No, he said not pirogues. He said not pirogues.
Not pirogues.
Yeah. He did mention that. He did condition, yes.
He says not pirogues. But my question is, even if it is you rent it or if it go, and is the Coast Guard to go on it, who have the power to let the Coast Guard go on it? Not same central government. So it's just, to me, they just set a stupid talk, but at least he get a point out of how bad the crime situation is.
But again, here's the logistics about it, though, right? I mean, even though it's not a pirogue, and, let's just use an example, since we're on radio here, use as a visual example, creativity of the mind, okay? Forrest Gump, like the fishing boat Forrest Gump have. You're talking about something like that? I mean, the logistics involved when doing maritime or naval or Coast Guard, operations. I just can't fathom this, and the thing about it is that it reminded me of that greasy mouth fella who used to be making a lot of noise about the place. Now he leave his wife with a young girl. That guy called Al Sharpton. Remember when the Somalians were hijacking in a big way a lot of the
shipping, yes, in the Horn of Africa there, yeah. In the Mediterranean? Yeah. Okay.
And Al Sharpton jumped up and said something about, well, you can't accuse, because it's black people, you can't accuse them of doing that because those Somalians are like their versions of the Coast Guard. So that's why I had to end up asking this question. And thank you very much for verifying the information, in relation to my question.
Yeah.
Okay? But still, it doesn't make sense. And this is where square pegs go into wrong holes as far as how they do stuff in Trinidad. And Gary Griffith, kudos to Captain Griffith in bringing to their attention that don't insult the Coast Guard. But anyway, have a good day, gentlemen.
Thank you so much. Next caller, morning caller. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning here on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, Corridor Transformation on YouTube, Love Laventil on Facebook, and not forgetting Workers' Rights Platform, our good friend Renaissance Jeffrey. A pleasant good morning to you, caller.
Andy, good morning. This is Fitzroy.
Hey, Fitzroy, good morning, my brother.
They're talking about Trump. You know what they asked Trump if he's popular? He said the most popular person is the Lord Jesus Christ. he's the one. So when they're talking about Trump and the Negro people he help, real Negro people, one of the girls come and talk for him in a college, and he said Trump help her. So when they're talking about Trump or Jesus Christ, he say we need help from above, not the other rest of them. That Kamala, she want to make them young children unisex, how they call it. I can't remember anything. But Trump, he believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. They asked Trump if he's popular. He said no, Jesus Christ is the most popular, and we need help from above. You know. So that is my contribution.
So you believe Trump is Trump is being worked by Almighty God. God is who blessing Trump.
Trump says the Lord Jesus Christ. They ask him if you're popular. He said, no. He said we need help from above. He said, Jesus Christ. So anybody put away Jesus Christ, there's Antichrist.
Okay.
So Trump believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, right? And Trump is a man, no matter how he has talked. Trump has helped people. Even the girl went and gave Trump a kiss. She named her Makila Montgomery. She really talk on behalf of Trump. How Trump helped the black people. Even black ministers know what about Trump. No matter how he has talked. But as long as you believe in the Lord Jesus Christ, he said, we need help from above, you know.
Nice.
So God bless you. And,
okay. Look at that. Long time I hear you on your call to give support for Donald Trump because he believe in Jesus Christ. He put he first. Compared to Kamala and all the rest. Kamala America, not we Kamala America and them. Them putting Jesus Christ first.
Kamala with them lesbian and all kind of thing now.
Oh.
You know, you understand?
Yeah.
She more for them. You understand? And when she was a judge, she do a lot of things with black people, black women and things, right? So I mean I am racial. But anybody put Jesus Christ first because I believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. And Trump say he is the one. Not Trump say he's not popular. Jesus Christ is the one. You understand? The Lord Jesus Christ. So God bless you all.
Thank you very much, my brother Fitzroy. Man, believe in Donald Trump. Next caller. Morning caller. Where are you calling from? What's your contribution on the ground report this morning? While yes, you all hit it on all your geopolitics, make sure and let me dance home too. But go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning.
Caller. COP. I wonder what COP coming. Let me talk.
Good morning.
COP. I don't know, but like he going and cuss Trump. I ain't know. He going and cuss Kamala. Who? I know. Who COP calling to talk about, man? Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, Andy. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Yeah, loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
Yes, the government interfering with people Wi-Fi. They're using the jammer when we're trying to call radio stations and then they're using the jammer to victimize we and encroach on with constitutional rights. That is what the government doing. Anytime you see the people them getting problem with the WhatsApp call, the people in Grenada don't get problem with WhatsApp. The people in St. Lucia don't get problem with WhatsApp. Jamaica don't get problem with WhatsApp. All over the world, the people them don't get problem with Wi-Fi. Only in Trinidad and Tobago, when you look in the call radio station, you have problem with Wi-Fi. Blame the government for that. And Lennox Smith, I myself trying to understand what the gentleman mean by when all you're talking, all you be balanced. I still trying to understand what he mean by that.
I too myself.
He sound like a PNM who will get things the way. He sound like a PNM who will get things the way and vex with the PNM and just trying to make kuchuro. What balance is speaking about? Everything the ground report speak about the UNC is facts, and everything they speak about the PNM is facts. So why gotta be balanced? You're supposed to say, thank you, ground report, for being balanced to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, instead of being sarcastic. So, but let me go to the Minister of Police, and that's the right position here. The Minister of Police, Skeet Scotland. Skeet Scotland, coming down to Shogunas to assist the business people and them. Mr. Scotland, I want you to be listening to come down Shogunas and assist the businessmen and them about the bad man and them trying to get money from them. Mr. Skeet Scotland, if you look at YouTube, I wanted to ask Fitzgerald Hines this question. Leon's this question. Camille Robinson Regis, Stuart Young, and Skeet Scotland. YouTube saying, in all them thing, is the activists from all the areas who are trying to extort money from the Shogunas people and them. It's not the Shogunas people you have to speak to. You have to go in your constituency.
That's true. That is true.
And meet the gang leaders and them. And speak to them. Because all the gang leaders and the people that make extortion money from people, it is from you, the PNM areas. All you know, all of them and all the campaigning. All you know, the whole constituency. So no PNM and Shogunas and how they to go. Speak to your activists and them. And let them know what they're doing, the people them in Shogunas. It is wrong. But when you listen to the activists and them, the activists saying the government victimizing them, the government not giving them opportunity. There are so many youths in the constituency that not getting opportunity. And that is why they have to indulge themselves in misconduct. That is why. I'm ground reporter. And listeners of Trinidad and Tobago, the citizens of this country going through pain, pressure, and problem is because of the People's National Movement. How it is every quarter of the year, it must have shut down in the desalination plant and in Wassa. How it is only know months before it going to have a problem in the line. How? Is that business opportunity? Is that strategy to give contracts out? And how it is? Wassa will shut down water for 2-3 days and it costs me millions of dollars. How? Nowhere else in the world it will have a shutdown and it costs taxpayers millions of dollars. This government is so deceitful, so conniving, and so ugly in the thinking towards the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Rowley, you don't appreciate what the citizens do for you. They give you the opportunity to benefit from all the resources of this land provided for Prime Minister. And you appreciate that. You treat the citizens so bad. I hear a woman talking on the Kunkuluam program. She say in other Caribbean islands, the China members have to pay for CXC. We have it free over here. We have it free. Lady, why you doesn't come off the radio station and the Kunkulung station? Why you doesn't come off the radio and go back in all your country? If you know your country have free education, why you don't go back in your country and come here to therapy them? It's so sad to see what's taking place in the country. Ground report. Anywhere in the road you go, we have the most deplorable roads. We have the most deplorable representation. They stifle the Olympic athletes and them. We ain't get a medal. And I would like my Lennox Smith. I would like you to do an interview and Anna Roberts and let Anna Roberts speak all the things that they do for the Olympics in 2012. Because that was the only time we get a lot of medals and the country was proud. Dr. Rowley called the Olympic runner who in 2012, in 2020 who won the gold medalist from point forth in there. He called him to congratulate him for coming forth. Dr. Rowley, the Ministry of Sport never support those guys and them They were undernourished, running. They were undernourished.
Wow.
Jamaica seen about the people, them. Grenada seen about the people and them, the athletes. All other countries seen about the athletes and them. In Trinidad and Tobago, we had to catch we aunt, uncle, and then because we have a government called the People's National Movement, and the citizens had to be happy and them until they're dead. So if you get a development in the community, well then you have to dead happy and them. What kind of governance is that? Good morning to you, Mighty K. Thank you.
Hey, before you go,
yeah.
what's your thoughts on the America elections coming there between Trump and it was Biden, now Kamala? What's your thoughts?
Well, I believe Trump in the lead right now. Trump is the man for is the Americans bill Donald Trump now. The most Lord Father.
You go get in trouble, you know plenty of them listening.
I don't think the Americans go and vote for no Indian, no man. I don't think the Americans and the blacks in America go and vote for no Indian, no man. Who play in Africa now?
She's African.
She's an Indian woman. All the times, all the years she's Indian, and all of a sudden she's African now. And some of the African people them saying, yeah, she's African. How dunce they can be.
Oh Lord.
How dunce they can be.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and LENNOX Smith.
Bang, 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 bang. Oh Lord.
Wow. Look, boy.
Everybody has a view. You understand why I have now remained neutral. All right, but of course, I want to go back to the Farley decision to have these Coast Guard vessels, whether you adapt them or you adjust them or to fix them for purpose, it doesn't matter. But my thing is that it is based on the statistical reasoning for it. I don't know where they get their information from to cause such a measure to be taken, because the statistic shows that it is not foreigners that are generating the crime situation in Tobago. You do not have that level of the Spanish and so on involvement in the murders and the unrelenting crime across there that is historical. So therefore, where that idea came from, it could only be to pacify and to say that you're doing something, because really and truly the resources, in my view, respective view, ought to be focused on the bridge, the sea bridge and the air bridge between Trinidad and Tobago, because clearly all the statistics shows is that that escalating crime situation comes as a result of well-established criminal elements that trying to escape Trinidad for one reason or another goes to Tobago as virgin territory, and in many cases see Tobago as separate and apart from Trinidad, and therefore could continue with their pernicious and havoc, and now it has escalated to this point. So I would have thought measures would have been focused on the vessels that ply between Trinidad and Tobago officially, and that of the air bridge. Nobody goes to Tobago, for example, on a pirogue to enter the what I consider the unmanned areas of the country. So I am a bit puzzled from that perspective. That is my considered view.
Okay. So the lines are open. Nice. Let me take this call here. I love this caller here, here. Let me take the LENNOX. Next time, don't keep back this call. Long they're talking.
Why you blaming me? Why you blaming me? You ain't tell me it has somebody there. Sims, man. Good morning, man.
LENNOX ain't go where you get in, you go talk on it.
Yeah. You see.
What is LENNOX? Another next hypocrite. Andy, let me take a sip of water for this one.
Oh my goodness.
Clear my throat for this one.
Let it throat. Look
here now. I wasn't gonna call this morning because I was kind of busy now. I'm doing my Christmas cleaning and thing. But Andy, when I am reading and hearing the things, reading the chats and hearing the callers and them, I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed. Somehow you have a mouth full of scriptures and a heart full of hate. So because Trump talk about Jesus, right? Right away, he's a good man. Rowley was talking about Jesus and he also talk about going to Lekoto. But all you hate Rowley. You see, that is the double standard I can't take with these people. All you don't like what Rowley doing is disrespect for women. But all you can love Trump and put him on a pedestal. Eh? All you rain and clapping for him because he's disrespecting Kamala Harris. And I want to tell Richard Ramlogan something this morning. Right? Yeah, singling him out. I am very, very disappointed in what you put up there. That Kamala Harris slept her way to the top. I want to ask you a question. Were you the Lukani? Were you there? How could you as a man and always preaching the gospel, preaching this out, God this and God that, could say something about another woman? You see, let me tell you something, Andy. I'm glad that I am reading some of these things. So I will know now where to place my respect. I will know now where to place my respect. Right? You want to tell me, didn't Trump said that he will make America white again? What was the meaning of that? What was the meaning of that? But you see, some of us have selective memory syndrome in this country. And around the world, we have selective memory syndrome. You can't come and tell me that a man who was so disrespectful to women, all you can put him on a pedestal now. Because he talk about Jesus. Jesus was never disrespectful to women. As a matter of fact, he forgave Mary Magdalene. He was a forgiving person. You could never compare with Rowley and Trump.
So, Mr. Fitzroy, you hear that, Mr. Fitzroy? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, you could never compare them because he said Jesus. And the next thing that really get my goat this morning, right, is that Kamala Harris trying to make the young people gay. Oh, Jesus, ages, man, learn now. Nobody don't make anybody gay. Well, I am hearing so much ignorant callers, right? Well, they are in the minority, yeah, Andy, and the things that they're posting. I'm ashamed of some of these people, so-called intelligent people. Nobody don't make anybody gay. So let me ask all your question now. So they are not humans? I care which side alphabet you are on, right? You are a human being. They are humans. What you going to do, line them up against a wall? And I don't want to say the rest because I don't want to stick them off of Facebook. You understand? I mean, give the people a chance, man. It's the same thing they're saying about Kamala here, right? The same thing they're saying about Kamala here. Because Kamala get Joel D'Souza a chance in the Senate. All you forget at the end of the day, all you preaching Jesus and where all your heart is. Where all your heart is. I wondered if we have none in the PNM. We have none in the PNM. Huh? We didn't read it in the Judah Jones report. What have dark hill chambers? Andy, you see it's the hypocrisy. I can't take the hypocrisy. You either preaching the gospel or you're stinking at people. You can't be doing the two. And I'll say it again before I leave. You have a mouth full of scripture and a heart full of hate. Thanks a lot, Andy, and have a good one.
Nice.
That is conviction and compassion and
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Yes, my darling. Hafizadi Mohammed. Andy, you better listen. Yes, I am listening. Look, Mr. Santa Cruz talk. And many of you who putting up comments, I'm listening to everybody comments. Some saying Kamala Harris. I support you saying Kamala Harris. Some of you here saying Donald Trump. I support you saying Donald Trump. Oh boy, who else? Annalisa, good morning to you. Good morning, Sean Martin. Good morning to you. Well said. Hey, Sean Martin, Bishop.
Well, it's democracy at work on the Ground Report.
Good morning to you. Oh boy, Kevin, good morning to over the 600 and something of you that already lock on Real Media TT on Facebook, Real Media TT on YouTube, and the hundreds of you that are lock on Corridor Transformation YouTube, Love Laventy on Facebook, And on the Workers' Right platform, a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. It's only Underground Report. So please, the many of you that are locked on, if each and every one of you make a share in your contacts, many others will lock on. So don't forget, don't be selfish when it comes to your number one program. When it comes to your coffee, as you they say, or they can't do without it to be our early morning coffee. Please, don't let us die a slow death. Share, 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 share.
Bang, 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 bang.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
6 a.m. tonight.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
I would say that they've been very clear that all the refinement, all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Whoa, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me make sure you share. I want to see 7,800 today. The lines are open. What's on your front burner? What's on your front burner, Trinidad and Tobago? What says thou? Morning caller. Where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Go ahead, caller.
Andy, don't call her name. Andy.
Yeah. You're laughing this morning,
listen,
you ain't
Andy, I must laugh. Andy, all the talk, the people talking and talking and talking.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something, Andy. You see the killing of the Palestinian people? We not giving the Democrat Party our vote, Andy.
Oh, so you're not voting the Democratic Party? But did you used to vote for the Democrats?
I am a Democrat.
And you changed your mind?
I will never vote for the Democrat Party again. And what they're doing to the Palestinian people is millions of us not voting in the news. So listen to Santa Cruz. They don't know nothing. They're not living here. We live here. We know what's going on. She can't talk for us. Nobody could talk for us.
All right.
Remember what us.
All right. Well, then why Trump? Why Trump? Why Trump and not Kamala? Well, Kamala,
Trump
America.
Is no. Trump is 1,000,000 times better than Kamala. 1,000,000 times.
But would you be able to give one example for the Democrats that out there right now that are listening? At least one pick of why you are saying Trump is 1,000,000 times better.
Why you think Kamala running from the news reporters should not answer no question? Ask any one of them who talking what Kamala intend to do to make this economy better. Nothing. So don't listen to people. I don't like Trump, but I don't like the Democrat Party again. They won't win. They won't win.
So you believe Trump going to win the next election?
He's a better option.
He's a better option.
Yes, 100%. Everybody know that.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody know that later.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Wow. Let's go. Like it's everybody. Morning caller. Caller, morning.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Ground Report.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Extra good morning. Lee, good morning. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. You go ahead. Sandra, good morning. Why you ever see people? Roma Price, good morning. Christopher, good morning.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Hello. Yes, Andy.
Yes,
I have nothing more to say, but I just want the people to think like this. I do know a listen to everybody and like they have my head hot up and confused, boy.
You have your head hot up and confused now.
Go ahead.
Where your girl? Beulah. Just now, Beulah, just now. Go ahead, Beulah. Hey. Beulah.
Yes.
Right, we hear you now. We hear you now. What are your head hot in you now? Oh, God.
And so, yeah.
Wait.
Hello.
Wait.
Hello.
Just now, Anderson Wilson, give me a late time there. You go call back there. You're cutting the WhatsApp calls. You're cutting the WhatsApp calls. That's why we said, oh, they call WhatsApp. Go ahead again. Just now. Go ahead. See, when people ring in direct, it is cut the WhatsApp calls now. That's why some people doesn't get you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, I listened to these people and they had me confused this morning. Everybody look like they I don't know if they're brain dead or the cells in the head not working right. Because Kamala Harris and Kamala Persad is two different persons with two different plans, two different agenda.
And two different countries.
Kamala and different countries. How they supporting Kamala Harris? They following Trump like how I following Trump and all his campaigns. Trump, if they want to hear Trump play over what Kamala said, he was played it in Montana in his campaign. And all you need to listen to how Kamala talk. Kamala want to pass 52 states abortion. Kamala want to done away with red meat, which white people love and black people love in America. And so forth and so forth. All you listen them clipping from Montana and all you stop talking about Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris is nothing like Kamala down here because Kamala Harris is a Democrat. And what Joe Biden couldn't carry out, when she come in government, she is going to carry it out. Believe it or not.
So you saying outside with Kamala Harris and you support Donald Trump?
All the way before Donald Trump had won the first election, I had supported Donald Trump. Me and a guy did bet on it. I won the bet. He came and paid me my money. Donald Trump is going to win that election. And if Donald Trump ain't win that election, it's because it's totally elections, what they're going to do with Pete Rowley, them down here, right? All you have to listen. They have another man calling and he talking a pack of rubbish and saying, we have to what? Balance. Balance what? What we are the balance? It's like all this. I don't know what's wrong with these people. They need to listen carefully, and I think Lennox kind of getting tired up too. Because everybody getting full with Kamala Harris and Kamala down here. Hello, it's two different persons with two different thinking. She is going to carry out the Biden, what Biden didn't carry out, she is going to carry it out. Come what may. And down here, Kamala is going to change the system, and Kamala is going to bring better men down here. Right? So all you get all your act together.
All right. Thanks. Don't get the act together. Look, people saying here, ban saying, all you don't have better things to talk about. Study that. Kamala and Trump. All right, people technically saying, all you dance at home before you dance aboard. Hey, let me say a pleasant good morning to my good friend. Well, boy, she and all hot. I'm a darling to, Annalisa. She and one hot, all of them. Oh, if you see people, Helen Ali, all of you, wait, just cool, all of you, Anna Ram, Sammy, all well, still on, well, she battling, but she said she had to go out, but she did battling. But Mati, good morning to each and every one of you. All we going to the lines, let me take them calls and them, they, all the foreigners and them taking over the whole dance this morning, boy. Why are they doing that? The whole dance, all the foreigners and them taking over. That ain't right at all. All of them foreigners taking over the whole dance. Why? Anyhow, the lines are open. I'm going to get all the numbers and the lines well written up. I'm going to be trying to get on to Ole himself and say something. I know what's going on with Ole. Turn down Ole volume in the background when Ole gets you, right? Nice. Oh boy. I try. Everybody what is. Everybody what is. Where we go see? Morning. Go ahead, Anderson Wilson. Well, you cutting all the calls anyhow, but use a foundation, my brother.
Good
Go
morning,
ahead.
Andy. Lennox. Andy?
Go ahead.
Morning, my friend.
I was listening and just had to be laughing, you know.
Yeah, boy.
Because I want to do like Rowley. I want to laugh at Rowley, but he just sit down, but he don't play golf or wherever, but he say, yeah, them imps. Yeah, them imps, like my son by a car by the oval or something. And we calling all the imps. You know why? You know why? People suffer in Trinidad and Tobago, Mother Stephen school books. We have a government, 9 years now we going through pressure. And we want to compare. We're talking about Mr. Harris and Trump. Something that is really wrong with being Trinidad and Tobago. We have our own problem. There's nothing if you get them a little 10 cents in between. As I will always say, Donald Trump for 2024 and the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisa for 2025. Me see what is that?
But you
people hate their own.
But you support Trump too? You support Trump too?
And the way you're saying, you the man of talk about. The man real as the only president of America whereby black people went below the poverty level. Just as Kamala in China in 5 years. Right? Donald Trump has more black people than you're telling me I don't care if she's an Indian, if she's an African, if she's mixed. Well, for them they say black. I cannot think with all you. Yeah. Look what black people doing here. And we have to study what's going on home here. We study who gay, who ain't gay, who wanted to be gay, and who child gay. We have time for that shoppiness. We have an election to win. We have children who can't afford to get school books. And every time I talk about that, I think I want to do something. But I realize every time I say, you fragile. Every time I call the name on radio, I say, all you call from Lavantel. And every time I say, call. And say, who Heinz ever buy a booklet for in Lavantel? So Heinz send for a secondary school booklet. Yeah, he sent by Aiden for, tell Aiden to give him a what? A what? One booklet something with them. Yeah. So something I want you to do again, Heinz. Yeah. It's dilapidated state and Lavantel and Lavantarians. You better get some West Indian leaders. Yeah, you and Scotland. Yeah, you the next one, Scotland. You go on, which party go on Shogonas? You go on Shogonas, you know. And you know what's going on. As Kunchi said, all you know what's going on in Lavantel. How much money you pay to take down them UNC flag? You face your line. I'm telling you that. How much money you pay to take down UNC flag? All you going Shogonas, the business people. The business people in town. The petty contractors, Troll Powder, Spain and East West Corridor, the steel youth, all of them are getting a little test by the corporation and a little contract by East Powder, Spain and a little contract here by HEC. All you know the thing that's go, all you go and show on us, so we can deal with it at home. So, Donald Trump, all the best to you, my brother, and to you, the Honorable Kamala Prasad, this all of you have an election to win, you know. We should be in front of Parliament with some kind of bucket full of big stone. All on the radio, but Trump and Mr. Harris, we have time for that all year. And who care and who care. Forget who care. We have children to send to school. Whether it's ours, it has children without mother and fathers. And Heinz, you are your political raper, man. We have a prime minister who is a teach in Tobago. And end up having a child with a student. He says we had to study 9 years now. We incarcerated politically. We in prison in Trinidad and Tobago. And all the PNM train, all the stuff go across Tobago now, all the spoil in Tobago. All the going up to Tobago, and don't like Rowley. All the keep all the crap. Right about all the PNM constituency and leave Tobago, and all the stuff go across and kill and shoot people. And they're not going to listen.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, let me say a pleasant good morning to Mikey K. Mikey K, a pleasant good morning to you. What's on your front burner? What's going on in Trinidad and Tobago that you'll want to touch on, my brother? The program just hot in all different directions. Go ahead, Mikey.
Yes. All right, loud and clear. All right, morning.
Loud and clear.
Let me say good morning to you, my brother Andy Pitbull Williams. Morning to you, Lennox Smith, our technical director. Yeah, it is indeed hot. I have been listening for quite some time, taking in everything. So, nothing really, just listening. So we could open up the lines and hear from the good folks on the outside. And when you get the link, please share, and it.
Right. Go ahead, caller. A pleasant good morning.
A pleasant good morning again, Andy. Yes. Andy, I just want, as either some people are lost in translation, or it's not my fault if they do have an understanding problem. To the gentleman who said, I don't know what I'm speaking about, apparently you were not listening to me. My points were the disrespect, right? Let's get it very clear. The disrespect of our Kamala. Now, Beulah, we never mix up the two. We know the difference, right? About our Kamala and Kamala Harris. The disrespect of women, right? We heard him talk about grabbing this and grabbing that. He was no different to Rowley. That is my point. Maybe Ollie wasn't listening, right? Because Ollie have on blinders. Just like the Bali J's juicers down here have on blinders, right? That is my bone of contention. And because he called Jesus' name, right? He called Jesus' name, but I want to remind them, all who calling Jesus ain't getting into heaven, I don't even know if I get into heaven, because I discuss. Everybody know I discuss. And if that is going to be that's the only thing going to be my downfall. And I want to tell Beulah something this morning. Isn't there somewhere in the Bible that said, judge not and you shall not be judged? And you will be measured by the same measuring stick you're measuring people with. How you know Kamala Harris is going to carry out the abortion policies of Biden? How you know that? Are you psychic? Let me know, because I would love to find out something severe, right? The thing about it is, just as how Rowley lied and tell everybody, our Kamala was thieving out the HSF, our Kamala was doing things to get out her friends and family from jail or whatever, right? And our Kamala was going to the IMF and still have his people among all the other things he said about our Kamala. That's how you sung in. That is how you sung in. That she's going to carry out all the abortion policies and whatever. Listen to me. You see, that is between God and whoever want to do that. All you do trying to do God work for him. That is what all is trying to do. Leave the man, let him do his work. Let him deal with all who want to do that. Let him deal with them. Don't come now and put that in front and say, she's going to do that. And when we'll want to say, no, people will follow that and say, yes, she's going to do that, so we're not going to vote for her. I distinctly remembered in the 2010 elections, coming up to the 2010 election, Imbert was the one that raised the issue that Kamala's husband was an abortion doctor. And right on Ian Allen program, it was on Win TV, there was this magistrate that left the bench to contest the election. And somebody called and asked, right? I want to know, because if that is true, I don't want to vote for Kamala. I had to call in and ask, is it Dr. Bisessa going up for elections or Mrs. Prasad Bisessa? You see, when you're pointing fingers at people without proof, that is what's cause a lot of confusion. And I wish people would listen to what I say and not what they want to hear. Not what they want to hear, Sue. Because my bone of contention, as I said before, was the disrespect, especially from Richard Ram Logan, when he said Kamala Harris stepped her way to the top. You see that? When you could stand up and talk about a woman, another woman, so I have no respect for people like all you. Thanks a lot, Andy.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, next caller. Oh boy, I seen down to Imam Qasim. Imam, let me make sure let me get on my Imam here, man. Imam, where the Imam? Oh boy, this thing real sticking up. Come on. I wonder if Mr. Nakus hang up there yet. Imam Qasim, good morning to you. Morning, Imam Qasim. Oh boy, call back, Imam Qasim, call back. I'm gonna take a call by the time many of you many foreigners and all calling to, all they call back. Don't the Clive Nunez too, man. Call back. All right, this line clear, this line clear. All two landline clear. So who ain't getting through on 366-3053? That is what they're calling the most right now. Or they will get through on 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, 239-5120. We'll send us a WhatsApp voice notes. I'll play the WhatsApp voice notes to each and every one of you. I will play it. For those of you getting through, 366-3053, 366-3053. Go ahead, caller. Pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning again, gentlemen. With all due respect to me, just on the back. Ma'am, why are you defending Kamala Harris so strongly? You're almost sounding like a PNM. I mean, this is what the Democrat Party is as far as in the eyes of a lot of us. The PNM, the plantation, the new plantation that mentally Black America has now opened their eyes and realized that for almost 100 years they were just used by the Democratic Party. And just remember, history shows, for the record, that it was the Republican Party that had the first black senators and members of the House of Representatives way back in the 1800s. You know when the Democrats had their first? In 1937 or something like that. And when Lyndon Johnson signed the Equal Rights Amendment Act, and there's a great photograph of him and late Eric Williams doing a fist bump handshake. But just that's besides the point. But I'm trying to say it is on record that Lyndon Johnson, when he signed the Equal Rights Amendment Act, he used the term, now we will have those N's voting Democrat for the next 100 years. All right? And furthermore, Kamala Harris, listen, look up Willie Brown, former mayor of San Francisco, right? Willie Brown, okay? Kamala, one thing with Willie Brown, a very, very outlandish and stylish guy, right? He used to walk into public receptions with sometimes a woman in each arm, and one of them was Kamala. And by the way, speak to the hundreds of black men. You know who ended Kamala Harris's run for president? Not even our own black people would have voted for her when she ran for president. She dropped out of the race early o'clock. And Tulsi Gabbard, a Democrat, by the way, when she was running for president, when Kamala tried to jump on the black, identifying as being black, and oh yes, when she became Attorney General of California, okay, it is Tulsi Gabbard, right, that actually ended her presidential bid when she brought out the fact that Kamala, who identified herself as always being Indian American, and then when she saw she was getting closer and closer.
Wow, caller, you get cut unfortunately. You get cut unfortunately. So all of the lines are open, eh? Why are the Trinidad and Tobagonians? Harry, a pleasant good morning to you. Ban, all of you. Monica, all of you that are locked on. Free Jai, good morning to each and every one of you in your hundreds of you. I tell all you I want to reach 700 total today, you know. On this side, you know. They don't have hundreds on the LENNOX side, you real me. Audrey, good morning to you. Everybody, Abigail, good morning. Suzanne, good morning. So come on, Trinidad and Tobago. Come on. So where is your topic? Yeah, asking all you. Where is all your topics? What's going on in Trinidad here? Why not interested in the elections here? Let me know. Like, are you satisfied with Rowley here? Morning.
Morning. Again, to mighty you, Andy, and Smithy. I got a post recently, I think yesterday or the day before, where a gentleman by the name of Pikila came into Trinidad, even though he was on, I think, a no-fly zone list. And it appears that higher authority allow him to come in. And my question is, because I'm seeing on the newspaper today, he performed for a crowd in the Queen's Park Savannah. I wanted to know why that was so, because, you know, the liquor we partner they call Christmas list. And I wanted to know if he come in to apply to be a contestant with Fitzy Calypso to turn around all the vicious songs that they allude to be funneling and facilitating crime. So people, we have to know why was that immigration decision overruled, possibly overruled or alleged overruled by Fitzy and the man from Port of Spain, North and South, Scotland. We have to find out that, because we still have to find out who gives the authority for DCP. What to call she? Christopher. Is Christopher? No, not Christopher. Suzette Martin to go and kidnap the man. Somebody has to find out that. We're still awaiting that. I go and have a nice morning.
Thank you very much. Next caller.
Well, we did early in the program make reference to that and the past sins of that particular artist, and of course there was the involvement of the Minister of Foreign Affairs in Jamaica and a number of other celebrities in Trinidad, including of course Wayne Bravo, that of course facilitated an exemption to that ban that would have otherwise been imposed and was to be imposed, because they kept him in the airport there, and of course several persons came in. Of course he made compensation in a sense when he called for peace and tranquility in Trinidad and asking young people to stop engaging in violence, which of course has gripped the country. So all in all, I think it turned out to be what it is. So just as an explanation to the last
caller. Go ahead, caller.
Andy for Grandy and Grandy for Andy. And that is why we want foreign observers in we country for the 2025 general election. Andy, Lennox, Mikey, UB, and Trinidad and Tobago. Uncle Lennox, there's 12 more months we counting down, right? But here what's going on. We foreign policy right now, we foreign policy under the PNM. It suit we. Because here what's going on. Repsol have a 30 years lease until 2027 and 2028. That will materialize. So we foreign policy is Ghana. And up to now, we can't get nothing from Ghana and no trade. But Ghana can go Venezuela, right? And Nigeria and them could go and get the way it other foreign companies. But we foreign policy. But here what's going on. I want to congratulate all the callers on them on foreign policy this morning. But here what's going on. The internal policy, I want to know, right? How much food can they give out for this year coming here and last year, right? And what it is, our health sector, what they're going to do with it. Besides it all, to open the Cuba hospital to test dengue. So what are we going to see there now? Where the medicine, where the fogging and the spraying, let me find out where the allocation for the regional corporation and them, all the money, what they're supposed to get to do the work and dredging. Wait, the Ministry of Work supposed to do a dredging over the dry season. How much they do? Then we find out why it is a bridge. So long to talk about that bridge in Cuba. They wait till it's full and inconvenient people. They talk about property tax. Ask the tax. I call it on ask the tax. Then we find out, or if the 22 PNM constituency love this property tax. Excuse me. If they love the property tax, let them go and pay it, and let me see our model. Let me see how it is run, how the new local government reform is working. 9 years of old talk and BS from the Prime Minister and a leader and a finance minister. billions of dollars bursting in this country unaccounted for. By the authority to check on it. And yet still we studied Kamala Harris. Their debt, the GDP over there, right? There is trillions of dollars in debt. And right now the other world pressuring them to trade in their own currency so they won't have dependency on the US to have no regulation. What we depending on? We as a people, what we depending on? Property tax, improve water rate going up, light bill going up, and no employment. No, we are seeing, look at how much. Anderson Cole, I'm talking about bookless. And that is a reality. He in the hornet nest down and he's seen what's going on the ground. Are we talking about foreign policy? We have Coast Guard vessel pack up there because of political wickedness. They buy 2 new brand one, it pack up. The Bosen, the Prime Minister Bosen, the head of National Security Council, Bosen, that them thing goes stay outside the DC for 3 days and the proper border. When we were there, let me talk about that this morning. Talk about the teachers and the negotiation and the full employment. The scrap the idea in their stop employment and in promotion from the public servant. I tell them if they want the money, they'll send them home, threaten them to shut them up. The TTRA come in and under what grounds? It's property tax, the rest of the paper while and willy-nilly. It's for we the people and not the businessmen and them. Or they understand what's going on? Or they give me a break this morning foreign policy. You know what I tell you? And buy local. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's go to the lines. The lines are well lit up. Let me give all of the numbers, the landlines, or we'll get you faster. The landlines, plenty of you. We'll get you on the landline. All right, the landline 225-6644, 225-6644, 239-5120, 239-5120. We'll give you a WhatsApp call or send a WhatsApp voice note at 366-3053, 366-3053. Ramnarain, how things in Canada? A pleasant good morning to you. Oh boy. Ramnarain. Is everybody trying this line and then getting through? But morning.
Morning, Andy. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Go ahead, Ramnarain.
What I want to say, I have very little to say. You know, I read the Guardian newspaper yesterday. And this guy, Terence Farrell, who was deputy governor at the central bank, he said where Carla Dukaran is wrong. But you know something, these guys have a right to pull side with PNM because they thief money and he is a dunce and a stooge to Rowley. So they have a right to pull sides, you know? And next one is this guy they call
who?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear. The guy you call who?
Hold on.
Like we have lost him?
Ramnarain?
No. I'm there.
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. And then
We didn't get the guy's name. If you could have recalled, or if you were speaking because we lost you.
I get it.
But if you can't recall that, that's all right. I just thought you might have. Yeah.
Martin Daly.
Oh, Martin Daly.
That guy, you know, they have nothing to talk about Biden resign and why Kamala don't resign, why he don't resign as a senior counsel. I'm sure he's over 70 years old. He should resign and go and enjoy the sunset. You know, these guys are stupid. Being a big senior counsel, he's ignorant to the fact that PNM using all of them and Rowley using every one of them. So I don't see logic in why bring Biden and Kamala together. Biden is 81 years, Kamala is 72 years. Why didn't talk about Rowley should resign? Rowley's older than Kamala. But these guys are stupid, you know, and they're ass lickers. Okay, they had to sing for the supper. Yeah? That is all the these guys, Martin De Leon, they have to sing for the supper. So they had to pull sides. Why did they tell Rowley to resign? You know? Anyway, I have nothing much to say. You all enjoy your day.
All right, thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me call a voice note short and sweet, please. I'm trying to get onto Ravi Balgobin Maraj interview today to deal with that
speaker and his action, yes, in the court, yes.
Over refusing to reply in the house. Yeah. Want to get on to Ravi Balgobin Maharaj. Oh boy, I'm thinking about the time, but let me just.
Somebody also suggested that as in lieu of that, if we can get to Andy Roberts as well on the question of the performance of our athletes at the recently. Well, I think it's still going on. The Olympics.
Nice. Let me put that in place by the time.
Yeah, it is unfortunate or maybe typical that Bowley would of course make an intervention. The man came forth
Hold 1 minute.
In the semis to go to the semis and then ran out all entirely. Good morning.
When the 15 elections was over, Mariano Brown, a lifetime member of the PNM, and they say Kamala lose. He said the only thing could cause that is race. Mariano Brown say that. When they had the case in the court, Ivan Archie say, are they hearing me?
Yes, long and clear. Go ahead, caller.
Ivan Archie say the extra hour was illegal, but he leaving it so. So when Short-Chum talked that crap last night about they rescue Trinidad in the darkest hours, then you go and try to tell that to Mario Brown and to the Chief Justice. That fella getting ready for the big yard, yeah? Which is him alone. I go with that for now. The LENNOX show coming on later?
Yeah, definite. 8 o'clock. On the corridor, yes.
The Olympics finished yesterday, LENNOX.
Yesterday? All right, good, okay.
Closing ceremony, everything was
yesterday. Right, okay, good. Yes, great. Yeah, but I mean, Rowley celebrated a fourth place, and the fella ended up coming 17th in his succeeding, of course, bout. Wow. No medals for Trinidad.
Yeah, medalless,
yeah. This is how we may be countryless if we continue with this fella at the helm of our business.
Congrats morning, to Grenada got medals.
Good morning.
Martin Trinidad and we used to always medal.
Morning. Calling from the bar.
Go ahead, the bar.
Gentlemen, I know people will say when we talking about America and things, what does that have to do with Trinidad? Talk about Trinidad and the issues here. For the last years, all they're talking every day about the issues in this country. How much millions missing, how much this missing, where they're doing in court, who bribing state witness and all kind of thing. How much of them getting killed every day, and so on and on and on. You could go on ad nauseam as what was taking place in this country. But it's just discussion. Because that's what they like to hear in this country, discussion. And then chat and lamblas one another on the chat and all them kind of dotishness. And they feel good. And they go, when the program done, they go and they lie down and they talk to the neighbor, they call that one and this one and thing, and nothing do happen. You understand? Because as a yellow covered tin belly people living in this country. And like I said, the only thing left now for Rowley to do is to breed all of them and make one child for them and give them it and say, mind that. That is why I gave all as the Prime Minister. And then they would go come and crossbreed it and they go have Dalmatian human being living in this country. But let me tell you something about America and what people have to understand. Now, if you want opportunities, you're willing to work hard, America could give you that. You go and you come like you're working offshore. You make a sacrifice out of 10 years and then you work offshore. But America is not a place for family life and things. They is the worst place to, like, how for culture and lifestyle, especially with this LGBTQ and them kind of dotishness business where they like to promote and feel that how people who want to identify, a man will have a big old stones go and say, hey, here what? I want to walk in a woman toilet and piss because I'm a woman. I identify as a woman. And if you, as the person now who decide that I'm going to say something about that because that can't be right, you are the one who they got labeled as somebody who discriminating and, you know, against democracy and all these kind of things. Where things like abortion and things is concerned, I just always tell people, God create everybody down here. And we have to make the decisions and do the things that we see is fit for us in the practical aspect of life. In the Bible, and then we hear about branch touch woman belly and they get pregnant and all kind of thing and they make children and that kind of thing. In the real world, branch don't touch no woman. It's bamboo it has touched them for them to make children. A man that decided, hey, hear what? I go and have an intimate relationship with a woman, bam, she get pregnant and a child born. We have no case in this world yet that we hear about no woman. Anytime a man decide that the wife tell him, hey, you know, I went in the garden and I did molding up the peach tree and the peach tree touched me in my belly and look, I get pregnant. And when the child born, it resembled the neighbor up the road. You understand? So, let me don't go down that notice road where they're talking. If a woman decides that, here what, she wants to have an abortion, I think that's all right that a woman could have. And if I could have any say, I would make abortion legal. So that, you see all them women, them were going and having 5, 6 different children and all kind of thing for 10 different men and thing, and bringing people in this world that they can't take care of themselves, they can't take care of one child, but they have end up with 5, 6, 7 and thing. Make abortion like a birth control measure that, here what, a woman could go and have an abortion and decide, instead of bringing a child in this world and create more problems for she and the child, let she terminate that situation right there. We have to be real and say it as it is. And when we talk democracy, how it is you could support democracy from a country, but that country supplies all the weapons to create instability around the world. Right now they're supporting this demon in Israel that killing thousands and thousands of women and children, and them talking democracy. They're creating and supporting a war between Russia and Ukraine just because they don't like Putin. They're creating instability in Venezuela. They're in the whole African continent. They supply arms and ammunition for uprising to take place and all these kind of things. So when we talk democracy, yes, within your boundaries, within your country, you're preaching that. But what it is you're really doing, and the Democratic Party in America, that is how they generate their revenue and economic growth in America by arms and ammunition. One tank is all kind of $200 million US. So if they said 50 or 20 to another country, and they have to get paid for that. So don't call and talk democracy when everybody know that how is instability in the world that drives your economy. When Trump was in power, Trump gone and although people mightn't like him and things, but we had to put reality where reality is. Which other prime minister in the world ever went and talked to Kim Jong-un? A man who they always say going and blow up the world and all kind of thing. Went and sit and talked to him. The world was in a stable, more peaceful place than it is today. Now any part of the world you turn right now, you're seeing instability. You're seeing like a start of World War III, and behind it all, who are the real the person who is generating that instability and conflict? Obviously, is the Americans and the Democratic Party, and we have to be real about that. I don't like none of them. But the fact of the matter is that everything that America do over there have a big impact on Trinidad and Tobago. Now, we whole economic future depends on the election outcome in America, because this deal with Dragon Gas and Maduro and things, that will have a big impact. We don't see Jindal pull out when he see what's taking place in Venezuela. And he was the man, the keystone man, who supposed to have the deal to buy the petrotrain and to get the oil from Venezuela to refine here, to bring some kind of prosperity for Trinidad. That deal gone out of the thing. And if we still continue want to listen to all the lie and the propaganda from Rowley and them, we could keep on going there. But people have to go back now to say that, oh, you know, my man, I know in Trinidad, big, strong man, when you hear the talk, the bad and thing, and they migrate and went to America, and they turn woman, they could hardly open their voice and say what they used to say and thing. America culture and lifestyle has changed the masculinity in people and make them more like feminine. They're just borderline, a thin border. Just like I say, all you need to do is to say is a woman in America and is a woman, you know. Like to show you how it has no definition, distinction between the gender now in America. If I go in the morning and I say, well, oh God, look, I come through the airport and I clear as a male. As I reach and I throw my suitcase in a corner, I say, you see me? I saw a woman from today, you know, and walk down the road whining and wearing high heel and it's okay. So people have to understand that if we in Trinidad and we decide here what, we want something good for the country, we want something better for the country, we have to stick to your agenda and decide, here what, let's focus, because right now Trinidad come like London Bridge, it fall down. We see when 9 years this woman who is in charge of sport, we came get a bronze medal in the Olympics. You're hearing who's the next generation of Olympians coming up to take from these sets. And when you look at the Olympics this year and you hear the age group of the people them who winning Olympic medals and things, it's all kind of 17 years, 18 years. That means them going to be in Olympics for the next 4 Olympics at the age of 34 and 35 and things. Them going to still be competing and winning. Who we have? We have a sort of dead horse we've beaten for the last 2 Olympics. They're tired. They can't make again. And you put them together to line up with them sort of young stallion and them and expect to bring gold. And then all the stadium all around the country mash up and grass growing, and you see no Southern games, you see no Garapara games, nothing to bring the youths and them to stand up to identify, okay, the kind of potential we have in this country. And then you had this ballhead dotish one who wanted to go and play golf every Tuesday with half of the Trinidad Police Service guarding him, and then the linemen and all kind of thing, and drinking fancy wine and all kind of thing. And then we talking about what's going on all over the place. What we need to do is to focus here. And I'll say it again, the only conversation we're supposed to be having here in Trinidad and Tobago without any distraction is here what? We have to get rid of Rowley and the PNM, and not for a term or 2 terms, forever. For any type of growth, any type of decency in Trinidad and Tobago for this country to move forward. Otherwise, if we continue with nonsense about who is this and who support that and thing, and do get rid of Rowley and vote them out of in a democratic way, and decide that, oh, here what, the only vehicle right now that is available to do that and for we to move this country forward is the United National Congress. So far, the only leader it have is Kamla Prasad, Bissessa, and every right-thinking citizen who have children, who do have children, who have any interest in Trinidad and Tobago and want a future for Trinidad and Tobago, have to decide that, here what, I will put all my agendas and all my growth and all kind of thing aside, because 9 years was a nightmare. You count how much people get killed and you add up how much children and relatives and they have, and if that don't give people a wake-up call that to say, hey, my son, my daughter didn't supposed to lose their life, at this age, 24, 13, 15, and all this kind of thing, and decide all they want to continue that, go ahead. But I am saying that my focus and the people who I could influence and talk to and try to give them some kind of encouragement and open up their eyes that they was blind and foolish for so long is to vote for the UNC and put them in government, and let me start to bring back Trinidad and Tobago where it's supposed to be. Have a good morning, gentlemen, and be safe outside later.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, while I try to get in contact with Arnold Roberts and Mr. Algobin Moraj, two good thing which is the Trinidad and Tobago athletes, and the whole issue of putting Mr. Barrage wanting the opportunity to speak on the parliament to clear his name. So let me take some calls by the time. Oh boy, let me take some calls by the time. The lines are open. Go ahead, caller.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Morning, caller. Go ahead. Yeah.
Lennox, only one athlete in Trinidad the Prime Minister apologized to?
Praised, yes.
Hello?
Yes, only one, the cyclist who came forth in his heat.
Yeah, and he's a big man in CARICOM. Why you then congratulate the girl from St. Lucia who got the gold and the silver medals? And the Jamaican and them.
Yeah, but that congratulation was too early because eventually he ran out. And Sean came yeah. What, seventh in his last throw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, look at the kind of ministerial sports we have. They should push in a boat and send sheep out Tobago. Amen.
I hear you. It will be very interesting to hear Annie Roberts' comments on this matter. So many, because we have been failing and falling and appeared to be a period of curse and destruction since the Rowley administration in every field of endeavor. Even nature is against us. The most devastating flood, you have earthquakes as well of magnitude regularly that we have not grown accustomed to in recent times, quite apart from the crime, the economy, the inability to attract foreign investment, but at the same time choking up huge debts for future generations. So I hope that those persons who will turn 18 at least before the elections next year and 18 this year are taking note and understand that the country you save will be, of course, your own, which is, of course, Trinidad and Tobago. And therefore you have a duty and responsibility to get out there and democratically move the PNM. Yes, indeed.
Boy.
I know that Andy is attempting to get at least an interview before we make our departure. We just have about 6 more minutes officially. But of course...
But, yes. So if we get the interview, we just have to do the interviews and then... Go ahead,
expand.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andy. Mr. Lennox,
morning.
Mikey, and all streaming on the live. I want to say a special thanks to Senator Mark and Dr. Bodo yesterday on the two topics they spoke on affecting our country. One is the health crisis. The other one is the property tax we're about to face. And I am so disappointed this morning to hear people talking about the U.S. policy and not staying focused on what is going on in Trinidad and Tobago. People, we have an election to win, and please stay focused. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
All right, thank you very much. Oh boy.
Yeah, I share that view, but I also share the view that, as the previous caller also said, that what is happening outside there has impact on Trinidad and Tobago as well. So we have to have at minimum dual focus. We must be bifurcated in terms of our consideration, because we must be as comprehensive as possible. What is happening in the United States will affect us. What is happening in Venezuela would affect us. And of course, that caller that emphasized, I think is Mr. Bagpo. I think at one time he was averse to that view, but I've seen that he has caught on and realized that that is in fact a reality in contemporary Trinidad and Tobago and moving forward. Yeah. Mikey, you were saying something?
Yeah, true. No, I don't know if Mr. Roberts may be out of the area. I don't know.
All right. And of course, my takeaway, my takeaway this morning, of course, is the diverse or the dichotomy or the difference in policy position that, based on what is happening on the hustings in the campaign in the United States, that will influence, of course, eventual policy between the whosoever emerges as victors in the presidential elections in the United States, whether it be the Democrats or the Republicans. And that is, as far as Trump is concerned, and indeed, of course, I suppose it will apply to Kamala as well. And that is, of course, borders, the border issue, the economy, the whole question of foreign policy, because of course it has to do with Israel and has to do as well, as far as we are concerned, closer to home, the question of Venezuela, and indeed, of course, the whole question of abortion and gun rights and so on. These are fundamental issues that have been ventilated in the United States. It will be interesting, of course, to see who will emerge on the question of abortion and issues like that. Trump and they are conservative. They don't believe in abortion, whereas, of course, the Democrats are more what I consider to be contemporary, if you want to call it that, more liberal in that regard. Of course, on the question of the borders, then of course you have that almost intractable problem with Mexico and entering the United States through that country. Good morning. Yes, I thought I should pick up the little time in my own assessment. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Caller. Yes.
Good morning, Silver Fox here.
Oh, go ahead, my friend from Tobago.
Yes, good morning, Ground Report. Good morning, Mr. Tanapuna. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. My problem here right now is this property tax. My problem right now is losing my property because you don't have a job. And this government know you don't have a job, and they're still forcing all kind of different topics on you. All kind of thing on you. Now, we just say get up and smell the coffee. Right? Get up and smell the coffee. Remember, these people not even sleeping because they don't have money to buy nothing to eat. So they're barely talking all night, so they can't sleep, and they even can't smell the coffee. Right? Now, we starting a thing like, we studying Gaza Strip and Israel. We come out to demonstrate for the Palestine. And we losing our own home and nobody is coming out to protest for us. Nobody is standing up with us. Nobody at all. And we're talking about Israel and we're talking about this and we're talking about that. Let me tell you something. How I read the Bible and what is in the Bible, Jesus Christ is a Jew. And we have to accept that. And Jesus would not see Israel fall. Don't care what we say as human beings. We are only human beings. Right? And he would not see Israel fall. Because he said all those who said they're helping Israel and turn their back will face the consequence. And Jesus Christ is higher than man, as he said. As in the Father, as is in me. Right? And we have to understand that we are only talking about these people losing. But what we achieving under Rowley? We are going through the same thing under Rowley, and nobody is not standing for us. Why as human beings? Why as human beings, big people, we letting 23 people rule our lives, take away everything from us, put us on the street to live and laughing. Why we making a king out? Why we in Trinidad and Tobago making a king from inbirth in our country? Inbirth is to go back to where he come from and make laws. We can't go with children to work. Please stop all of that. These people come to cripple Trinidad and Tobago. When we have no Trinidad and Tobago. Are they not seeing that? Are they not seeing that? Are they seeing other people's problem and not seeing ours? We have to see our own problems. We have problems. Oh God, people. Oh God, people. It's time. It's time. It's time to stand up for ourselves. Stand up for God bless Kamala Prasad, Mr. Sir. God bless Kamala. God bless the UNC. It's the only hope we have right now. We have no other hope. And may God give her long life, long living, and health and strength to see about us in this Trinidad and Tobago. Kamala girl, God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, until tomorrow, please God, Trinidad and Tobago well.
Yeah, hopefully tomorrow you might be able to get in touch. Hopefully tomorrow you might be able to get in touch with the 2 interviews that you attempted to link.
Yeah. One on the sports and our bad fitting in the Olympics. And the next one with wanting the opportunity to talk or clear the name or defend the name in the parliament, which is Ravi Balgobin Maharaj. So to the hundreds of you that are still locked on, any closing comments, Mikey?
No, I was just I think taking a note from Barrackpore. We've done a lot of talking. As I think it was Saturday was the start of the last year of the PNM, the term, entering into the 5th year. So we are now basically on the campaign trail. And so we see what happens. I mean, maybe we've talked so much about what's going on here locally that we are now in international waters. So
yeah, well, I see Wayne Mark mentioning most likely a snap election. Senator Wayne Mark mentioned a snap election somewhere in November. That it may have a snap election.
Well, there's some talk about that. There's some talk about it. But as the case, we're in August. So...
Yeah, and it's nestled.
Where do we zero in on as far as the issues?
And it's nestled. Of course, some are speculating because of the non-performance or the state of the economy and if the property tax in particular and other revenue measures are not in place, and therefore the government will not want to go into an election where you don't have a budget to, of course, facilitate elections, because they would use that to get, of course, as we have seen, an unfair advantage. We saw that in Tobago, and they lost there handsomely. Yeah. So they are in a quagmire as to when, and the date will come. Some are speculating on the corridor. Somebody said that he will not call. He will try to make some kind of excuse, whether it be some disease or some emergency, as we heard telegraphed by way of somebody trying to undermine overthrow the government and generate some kind of emergency, some kind of excuse to postpone the election. We see how that will. But all of those, in my view, will not pass Dr. Rowley. He is that evil. He is that sinister. Yeah.
What do you
he
say,
just
Andy?
would not make the mistake as Manning. It is what it is. They're going the distance. He might add on 3 more months the same way too, until they get all their policies and things in place. There's too much still playing out there for them to put a snap election.
Well, I think what Lennox is saying it's not a matter of the policies that are going to be beneficial to the citizens. I think there's some unfinished work. That work is not the fact of dealing with crime and the economy. It's basically in their own personal interest. I mean,
Yeah,
is
racking
it
up
that
Kiko and all them
yeah,
things.
well, yeah. Are they finished lining their pockets? Are their friends happy? Are their financiers content? Are they themselves going well? Are family members everything covered? So I think that in itself has been the priority for the last 9 years. So I don't think any changes now. I mean, what they couldn't do in the last nine, I don't see how they're going to squeeze it in a year or 15 months, as the case may be.
They
So I
sell
think
a
that's what Lennox
refinery
is
to
going
sell
to
and
do.
all them kind of thing
Well,
too.
electability.
And that is a big issue.
Yeah.
That's a big issue because this is what we're hearing is a group, people out of Dubai and other places, part of the group. So they're not even on the list. So we don't even know who was shortlisted from the list of people. We know that Jindal, of course, is out, but what about the other people? And what is this new group coming from members from Dubai and whatever to get this thing out there? So it's not about doing anything. I mean, if there was about doing something, it would have been done in the last 9 years. It's about themselves, their friends, their family, and of course their finances. And they need to wind down as
Finish
much
line
as
the
they
pocket.
can. Yeah, well, there you go. So there you go. So we
And
wait and
unsavory, unmerited
when it
ways
happens
to stay in
tomorrow.
government. Unsavory and
Yeah, so when it
unmerited
happens
ways to stay in
tomorrow,
government.
To help some
whether
people would
tomorrow,
not understand what you're saying, Mikey. So what you're saying there that they have no more time at this point in time, whether they come with a budget or anything, to help the people of Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time. So it's all about them. First up, finances.
but it has to be because I mean, again, what you accomplish in 9 years. I mean, how are you going to do all of that? Compress that into 1 year? I mean, who's going to be your savior? Is it going to be Scotland, or is he just basically expendable? Is he an asset? Is he a liability? Is he going to be the scapegoat? Because what can he do? I mean, in just months, what meeting with members of the chamber and what have you, and trying to curb extortion? No, all of these criminal activities that are taking place was created by the PNM, by Rowley. Here it is that you squeeze the economy, you put people in a very vulnerable situation. So the criminal elements were saying, listen, we have to go out there and ply our trade. And if it's home invasion and if it's extortion, then we're going to do that. It's simple. They created this entire environment. So what are they going to come now to solve it? What? What are they going to do? They can't turn back the clock. And you have Stuart Young saying that he gave his government, his prime minister, and again talking about Scotland. Everything is about Keith Scotland now. You know, I mean, Scotland. Yeah, I sympathize with him. I mean, you put yourself in that position. You should
Lamb
have
to the
said, look,
slaughter. Lamb to the slaughter, yeah.
yeah, lamb to be slaughtered. So, listen, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's in November, whether it's early next year, the fact of the matter, you have to ask yourself, are we ready? It's simple as that. Are we ready?
We in the opposition.
Are we dealing with the deal? Yeah. Are we dealing with what needs to be dealt with? Is the message out there? Are we able to hold individuals and keep them? In other words, the question has to be, and it should be on the minds of everyone, are we building UNC votes? That's it. I mean, it's all good and well to be out there, walking the area, talking to the people, meeting and greeting. But when it's all said and done, are you building a UNC voter? When you interact with these people, because remember the PNM pixie doesn't pass yet, you know. And as much as you would want to believe that, hey, these people are fully committed and they're not going to, switch up on us or do anything otherwise, these individuals at the end of the day, you can't stick your neck out for them. So regardless of what comes down the pipeline from the PNM, are you building a UNC voter? Someone who perhaps was on the fence, someone who hasn't made their mind.
Look, Lyndon Mack is on and many other people on. He said the answer is no, that we are not ready. No.
All right, okay, all right.
He said the answer is no.
So what? So you can't tell me. All right, Lyndon Mack is saying no. Is he participating? Has he been to any of the UNC pre-budget consultations? Has he spoken to anybody on the national executive? I mean, it's quite easy to stay on the battlefield and be a critic, telling a man he should have wear boots, he should have a spear, put on that shield, why he ain't go get a gun. That is the easiest thing to do, The easiest way out is never the right way, So it's easy to criticize, it's easy to look for kinks in the armor. But if you are telling me that this depends on life and death, and if you're telling me that this depends on our children's future and their children's children, and if you're telling me that none of us could withstand another 5 years from the PNM, then what are you doing besides just saying you ain't ready? Are you doing anything? And besides saying that the opposition is weak, you're doing anything to strengthen it? So this is where we're at.
Well,
well, I don't know, gentlemen. Go ahead.
Even this station fighting down our leader, but we talking collaboration. So even this station fighting down our leader, which is the Tobago leader, Fali, but we talking collaboration. You ain't building either. So you're not building
let us disabuse that one time. I have a serious problem with persons interpreting our constructive criticism and observations that are nestled in reality, because you first have to tell me, as the caller earlier, whether or not we are wrong. And if we are wrong, you need to tell us where we have gone wrong. No one has told us that we are wrong, and maybe the question should be posed a different way as to whether or not PNM has done enough to collapse. But of course, the vehicle to replace them is where the alternative. But is it that it is a default vehicle that it will naturally take the place of the PNM? If, of course, your answer to that question is whether or not PNM has done sufficient to collapse. Another way of putting it.
Yeah, well, listen,
so you could answer, you could always call and answer Lyndon Mac, as they say, where are we lying?
No, listen, I am not here to get into any argument with anybody, Lyndon Mac or whoever, because Lyndon Mac don't even have access to your own leader. So I'm not even on that. If Lyndon Mac believes that we hitting out unfairly, well, boy, listen, what can I tell you? At least the discussion is taking place. And the only way to start looking to solve a problem is to having a discussion about it. And if we are wrong, prove that we are wrong.
Yeah.
But you can't tell me that so awful that we can ask to speak to someone. I mean, you yourself don't even have accessibility to your leader. And you yourself won't take it upon to listen, with all due respect, I really think you need to talk to the people because things ain't going well. And if Lyndon Mac is so sensitive and, well, there's always Ernie and Bert on
protective,
the next
defensive.
deal with them.
Yeah, protective, defensive.
But Lyndon, you're wrong with
aggression is best form of defense approach. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, but Andy, how you so concerned about what Lyndon Mac feels?
How many trips that you made to Tobago, Mikey K? It's easy to cast criticism, but have you ever jumped on a plane? But I and all jump on a plane, partner. So you're very, very, very wrong about that.
All of us have been in and out of Tobago.
All of you jump on a plane to Tobago to try to see or have a conversation with Fali.
But I even try, but I don't understand what Lyndon Mac saying, because the person responsible is not Whitey or what his name is, Pollard, what's his name?
He gave alternatives, yes. I think about 2 alternatives that we should pursue.
The fella who dealing with is Whitey or whatever his name is, there's call him, that he nickname. He's the fella that won up in Mason Hall.
All right. But whosoever it is,
okay.
None of them are Fali.
No, it's not whoever it is. I have property in Mason Hall. There is nothing to hide about. And I met him as my representative. And he said he was coming to do certain things for us. So I don't know what Lyndon Mac talking about. I mean, I'm not talking it because I just feel like talking. I am talking in the capacity as a Trinbagonian who have property in Mason Hall and looking to get the thing done.
And you And that's your representative because he went.
Well, exactly. So I can access him. He was there. He came. It was 8 of us who were there present, other residents. And we said, listen, if we have to put up money, we assist. We know you guys coming in. We know it's a hurdle. I have always said that I know they have challenges. I talk about backhoe. I talk about scaffolding gate. I talk about all the things that they had to pay for, which is an injustice. So William Denmark talking about.
No,
but now today the same man, when 8 of us call, the man don't even take the call anymore. So what are you talking about? I just feel like talking about.
Yeah, but Lyndon Mark may be obviously sincere. I don't question his integrity, but in the absence of information, the ignorance will continue in that vein. But now that he knows that, so I'm glad that we didn't have to, of course, say that, but he raised the issue as to whether or not our presence in Tobago has been sufficient for us to draw a conclusion in the way that we have. And again, it is not a conclusion based on skepticism or ad hominem talk or idle talk. It is about development and to whether we are focusing on coming together, which is in fact the reason why we are so passionate about the kind of relationship that must now develop, because it is about making sure that those 2 seats remain sluggishly in the hands of at least the elements that are not of a PNM making or nature. And that is what this is all about, nothing else.
Exactly. You're right. Right. We are not an enemy of the THA. We are not an enemy of Fali.
Yeah.
We are not. We are talking about Fali has more friends than enemies. It's just that he don't want to acknowledge the friends. So come on, I mean, this is a mature program. It is a talk show, but it's not a talk show. And if you have a problem with it, you could always go by Ernie and Bert. Because I don't know when since that we have to be muffled and people can't be talking and expressing themselves. People call here, if Barataria call, all right, if Port of Spain call, because we want you to hear how they're thinking. We want you to hear what they have to offer after 9 years. We want you to hear the fact that all they are hell-bent on is racial division. Why we should hide that from you? To make you believe that this is going to be an easy battle, to make you believe it's going to be a walk in the park, to make you believe that all the mishaps, all the problems, all the social ills that they're going to just sidestep and allow us to walk into government. No, you should never have that perception, because that is not real. We are not here to sell you any optical illusion. It is what it is. They are going to fight tooth and nail, even on the basis that they have failed. They don't care. They know they failed. They are admitting they failed, because the only hope or savior they have now is Keith Scotland, and it's Keith Scotland is selling to us, and we know better. We know better, so we need to hide that from you. Wrong program, brother.
And gentlemen, I hope our good friend from Tobago is listening. For example, a recent, popular issue that is at the forefront as to the decision with respect to those patrol boats. And all we ask, I have asked, where is the statistical evidence or where is the practical evidence to show that foreigners, here I'm talking about Venezuelans, etc., those persons that are engaged, because what gave rise to all of that is the chief secretary's frustration about crime in Tobago, and whether or not these are the people that are committing these crimes. If that is not so, and our view is that the Trinidad elements that have, of course, infiltrated there and now have created havoc for Tobago, and therefore they don't go there, not even on a pirogue. They go on the regular ferry to get to Tobago, or they go on the regular plane or air bridge to get to Tobago to and from. So maybe the resources that must of necessity be allocated for acquisition of these boats can now be focused maybe from the Tobago side on scanners and other mechanism, human resource inclusive, dogs, etc., whatever it is, in order to treat with that matter. The central government has the responsibility. There are over 12 boats parked up there, and I think the secretary and the THA administration has, I think, sufficient power of influence, at least, to insist on the central government, the Ministry of National Security in particular, and all who are associated, to get these patrol boats to patrol Tobago, and the resources of the Tobago House of Assembly, if they have to divert resources, must be used from the Tobago end, at least, to eliminate those elements that clearly have created the havoc in terms of crime that is now plaguing Tobago and affecting, of course, Trinidad and Tobago in terms of our international reputation. That is the kind of discussion, my friend, we are talking about.
Right. Lennox, you are correct. Don't get me wrong, you are correct. But there's no need for you to go into all that. We don't owe anybody any explanation. This is the ground report. And people, when they have that sense of pain and that sense of heartache, and they know that things ain't right, here's where they come. You heard what Andy said this morning, and you said it too. It's like their coffee. They know that. They come here, and who have a problem with it, I am not going to lose focus. And somebody said it, yes, you want to touch on the American politics. Yeah, right, fine. But really and truly, I have to agree with Anderson this morning. Whether Harris or Trump, that is beyond me. Listen, $500 billion has been spent. $500 billion has been spent, and we didn't get nothing. When I say we the citizens, it's $500 billion. And I'm not sitting here to explain nothing to Lyndon Mack. If Lyndon Mack is so sensitive, then fine. You put on a love song and you go in a corner and you cry yourself to sleep. But the rest of us who understand the reality is that the middle class has been wiped out. $500 billion, $500 billion. Who lined their pockets with that? Who? The friends, the family, and the financiers. The majority of us got nothing. They talk about local government reform, and it's only about taxing you. Not one of them could tell you what this reform is about. You have somebody next door blasting a set of loud music. The reform was able to manage that. People who had dogs and they had no fence, and the dogs only coming in your yard, digging up your plants, all that waste management, garbage collection, you don't hear that talk no more. All you hear now is go out there and pay your money and find your money if you don't have it. After what? After trillions? Look, man, you think I had time to waste or what?
Well, I mean, it's ironic, Mikey, that you went all the way to say that you have property in Tobago. So there's a bit of contradiction there, but it's important, of course, the Tobagonians understand where we stand. That is the bottom line. Why we are going that distance. So it's not that we have any trepidation or fear of anyone.
Let's make it clear. Make it clear. Myself and the other 9 people, nobody's asking for a favor, you know.
Yeah.
All these things was to be done, you know, as far as the work, you know.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking for any favor.
I'm making the point to say that you didn't have to.
But you didn't. But since, I didn't have to.
Yeah.
But if you feel like just sitting here looking for kinks in the armor of people, that is not my style. There has to be justification for it.
Yeah. Well, it was.
You met with us.
Yeah.
You actually met. You spoke. And then all of a sudden you just ghost and you disappeared. And we can't even call your boss to tell your boss, hey, look, man, this man who representing you is a failure. We can't even do that. When you open your mouth to talk, everybody feel that they could come after you because of what? Because of the fact that based on your personal experience, you can't. So the victims of crime can't come out and talk. The people whose family died in fires because there were no tenders, or the fact that there was no protective gear for fire officers to go in there and rescue them. So those people mustn't talk either. The people who were sent home to Petrotrin and realized there was no reason for closing it down, so they can't talk out too. The families who lost their children, the babies in the NICU that was killed, so the mothers and the fathers can't talk about that too. Is that what you're saying? The 2,000 plus students that fell through the cracks, that ended up, some of them laying in a pool of blood, and who on Raymond Yard, their families can't talk out, the teachers can't talk out. So that's what it is now. All of a sudden you have to be muffled because somebody's personal interest takes priority over all of our business. Is that what it's all about? Nah, well, that is not the ground report, partner.
Yeah.
That is not the ground report. Find some other program. Hey, thanks, but no thanks.
And
Nice.
and Lyndon, that magnanimity was only extended because you raised the topic as to whether or not members of the team or anybody else were regularly visiting Tobago. So I suppose that settled the matter. So I'm sure that you'll have a lot of material to engage us on the next occasion. Yeah.
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago, after God family comes first. Be safe on the nation's road. Thanks so much for choosing your number one program, your coffee. The Ground Report this morning. And until tomorrow morning, please God, remember to lock on it. Well, tonight, corridor transformation, LENNOX Smith.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he said so. 8 o'clock,
Definitely,
yeah.
yes, 8 o'clock.
At 8 o'clock.
1 hour.
Nice. So we'll have those interviews ready for you tomorrow morning, please God, if permitted. We are out of here.
Since you take over as Prime Minister, it's plenty pressure. We have to suffer, and you will do nothing better. Probably really have to go. Oh, probably really have to go. Oh, probably really have to go. Since you come in power, you is a big failure. Collapse the economy and they do nothing for we. What you have to show, we don't really know. What you have to show, we don't really know. Sorry, Trinidad and Tobago, but Rowley really have to go. Oh, Rowley really have to go. Oh, Rowley really have to go. The crime rate is out of hand, they're shooting up we blessed land. We need more protection, it's time to take some action. We live in fear, too much to bear. We living in fear, it's too much to bear. And the PNM don't really care. Rowley really have to go. Oh, so Rowley really have to go. Oh, so Rowley really have to go.
Yes, people, of course, we have come to the end of this Monday morning's ground report. Of course, we will be on tonight from 8 o'clock to the corridor transformation. So stay tuned. Have a wonderful rest of the day as we continue, of course, to bring these and other issues. Yes, Rowley and the PNM must go. This is the conversation. And, of course, as we draw closer to the 2025 inevitable elections, all of us must be in readiness, prepared to, of course, do our civic duty to ensure a better Trinidad and Tobago, and therefore at tomorrow, with Kamala Prasad clearly at him and the UNC in government. See you tonight. Have a wonderful rest of the night, of the day. God bless. Bye bye.